Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Jalen.
And I'm Cacie.
And welcome to Inside the Conversation, where we welcome you inside our conversations. I guess that's our tagline. We haven't created one. But thank you guys for tuning in this wonderful Friday morning. We've got an interesting topic today. And for those of you who've been watching our last few episodes Inside the Conversation, yes, this is not the Israel episode. It is coming. It might be next week. It might be the week after. The only reason it got delayed is because there is a video that has been trending on the internet that we've been talking about within the house.
And with my friends.
You know, so it was like, this is a perfect Inside the Conversation topic. It's trending right now. We need to talk about it while we're still interested in it.
Yeah.
So the Israel conversation will be timeless like the other 3 episodes we did. That is coming, I promise you. I'm still prepping for it. Just stay tuned. We're going to continue with that series. But even as I was watching this video, because you were watching it first, but as I started watching it, I was like, okay, actually, it still kind of ties in with the stuff we're talking about with like truth versus lies and all that kind of stuff. So I have a spiritual component to it. But if you've been on the internet recently, you've seen the clips of Jillian Michaels versus the 20 body positivity people. Okay, because there's a body positivity movement. So let's just talk about it a little bit. I'll let you jump in here, and then what basically we're gonna do is we're gonna play the video all the way through. We may not get through it because we're usually up here for only 2 hours, but we're gonna react to it. We're gonna talk about it.
And we want you guys to chime in too. Like,
yes.
If you're in the chat, we want to hear your opinions, your thoughts about it. Just a disclaimer before we get into all of this: we are not personal fans of Jillian Michaels. We don't share her viewpoints about life or certain politics, all the things. It's just that this particular topic, she was kind of spun on about some things that we kind of agree with, but we want to share it with you guys. Also note that there is some language in this podcast, not from us, but from what we're going to be reacting to. So y'all, we believers here.
Yeah.
All right. We don't talk this way, but
it would take me a lot to try to bleep everything out.
Yes, I mean, I think some of it is already on the video.
I don't know because they dropped a couple F-bombs, so we apologize in advance for that. Also, for the YouTube and all the other platforms, this falls under fair use. The video we're showing is the property of Jubilee, whatever corporation owns them. This is fair use. We are adding on to with our commentary. It is transformative, in my opinion. So don't. If our live stream goes down, it's because they didn't agree with what I just said. they think we're copyright infringement. So apologies that happens, but I don't think it will. I think we should be able to react without a problem. So, all right. So what made you tune in to this? Because I mean, Jubilee releases videos, whatever. I don't watch their stuff generally.
Well, I mean, it's number one, we debate about everything in this world. Like everything is a conversation. And I mean, yes, conversation is fine. I'm all for conversation, having communication, and try to come to a place of understanding of different point of view, stuff like that. But we debate about some of the most simplest things. And I think what is so annoyingly baffling to me is that we just can't accept certain things as truths. Like we have to redefine everything when we cannot find an answer. So instead of finding an answer and overcoming it, we redefine it so we can accept it. And the moment we start accepting certain things as normal, or it's just the way it is, or we put a label on it, it creates another vein of excuses for us to not change and to be better. And the other real issue is that, okay, you want to accept this as this the way you are, fine, that's you. But why do we have to make the whole entire world accept it as the truth? Why we got to make the entire world conform to your choice?
Because there is power in it is written.
Right?
I'm gonna keep coming back to that. If you can get the rest of the world to codify whatever it is that you believe, it becomes reality.
And then we get offended at systems or organizations or whatever it may be. And we will touch on a few of those as we watch this video that won't conform to you before you was even here.
Yeah.
These people or these systems or organizations existed, but you're mad because they didn't make space for you, as if they knew you were coming. You know what I'm saying? Like, wow. Yeah, we got a lot to say about this. I know I do, because I guess I fall into some of these categories that they're going to mention here. And it's funny to me because I am a woman that has struggled with her weight for a large portion of her life. And so yeah, let's just get into it, because I can go on and on forever and ever.
We'll do it as we watching the video. So we're gonna play the video again. Disclaimers: we don't share the values and views necessarily.
Okay, Cozy Crochet, she's moderating.
Yeah, thank you. I saw that, Cozy. Yeah, hi to Cozy on TikTok, and hi to Cozy for dropping the disclaimers. Disclaimer for copyright: we are reacting to this. We're not just playing this video.
Yeah.
We do not share the views and values of Jubilee, Jillian Michaels, or anybody else in this video. Apologies for the language that is in this video. It just is what it is. But I'm going to.
And if y'all can't hear the audio, either us or the video, please let us know right away in the comments.
It should be fine, but please let me know. So give me a second here to get this right. All right, there we go. So I'm gonna transition this, and I'm gonna full screen it. So, all right, there we go. And here we go. I'll try to keep up the chat as best I can. I won't be able to see it when it's in full screen.
I'm Jillian Michaels. I'm a fitness expert and a health advocate, and today I am surrounded by 20 body positivity activists. All right, my first surrounded claim is that obesity is not healthy, and pretending it is puts lives at risk.
If you want to be the first debater, get to the chair in 3, 2,
my understanding
1.
is that obesity is a disease, right?
Hi.
So
I'm Edie.
Nice to
inherently
meet
it's
you.
I'm an
unhealthy,
eating disorder therapist.
right?
I'm going to do my best to not use the O word because I find it pretty offensive. So I'm going to use fat bodied as we talk.
Okay.
Sorry, that was my first time hearing fat body. When I watched this video, I had never heard the term fat body before.
Listen to me. I just think that is. I don't mean to demean anybody. I want y'all to understand. I don't have any. I love y'all. I love everybody on this panel. Okay, for real. But it's just the seriousness by which people come to these things, and they want me to take you seriously. Like,
I demand you take me seriously.
like,
even though I'm saying something ridiculous.
I don't want to use the word, the O word, because it's so offensive. Like,
oh my gosh.
really? Like, come on.
It's a medical term. I thought fat was offensive, but you know.
And if somebody would come up to me and call me fat body, you're getting punched in the eye immediately. There is no conversation. Like, fat body does not make me feel any more confident or included. Like, fat body, like, I thought fat was a derogatory term. Like, that was a bullying term. Call you fat.
Yeah. It's weird how we kind of come right back around. Like, I don't understand it.
I mean, it's just like, okay, let's go.
Right, let's go.
We just started.
Do you understand why people find it harmful and triggering?
No.
I don't. I would have had her explain it.
Overweight and obese is literally just having too much body fat. It has nothing to do with the quality of the person.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
Are we going to debate the claim?
yeah, you're-
Yeah, I just
Are
wanted
we
to.
gonna-
Yeah, I wanted to clarify though the
Are
language.
we going to pretend like I'm a 3 and you're my mommy, telling me how to talk?
Wow. Okay.
Okay.
So the claim that you're saying is that it is inherently unhealthy to live in a fat body.
It's inherently unhealthy to have excess body fat, yes.
Okay. Where are you getting that information from?
Oh, okay.
All right.
There-
We're going to stop a lot. my thing is the generation of show me your source for basic knowledge stuff. There are things, and I get this, right? Because I have to do it too. We just talked about abortion. We talked about LGBTQ. You got to talk about stuff. Where'd you get the information from? You got to fact check everything. I get it. It's fine. But we have gotten to a point where I'm like, hey, that grass is green over there. Where are you getting that information? With my eyes. Like, there are certain universal just factoids. Like, we don't have to reinvent the wheel on everything.
Water is wet. Oh, let's fact check that. Let's make sure.
Like, there are things that we accept. You don't ask me to keep proving that gravity is gravity. We tested it. We feel like it's good. We're not reinventing the wheel on that. But there are certain things when it pushes your button, when it triggers you, I've got to explain where I got it from. How do we know fat is unhealthy? Because, okay.
People that's been fat for centuries
will tell you
that is unhealthy.
Oh my gosh. All right, here we go.
There are dozens of MRT trials that show having excess body fat. Dozens is causal, not correlated.
Oh, no, that's not true. There is no disease that just fat-bodied people get.
I didn't say that. But obesity lends itself to all-cause mortality across the board. Have you heard of something called adiposopathy? Mm-hmm. Okay, so you know it means literally sick fat. And you understand how it works? Mm-hmm. Okay, tell me how it works.
So it's an additional layer of fat in the stomach area.
No, that's not what it is. It works as follows. When we eat too much food that has energy that we're not utilizing, the body needs to put that energy somewhere, right? So it puts it in fat cells. So it puts it in initially subcutaneous fat cells, a little bit of visceral fat, which is fat around the organs. And at first you have hyperplasia, which means we're recruiting new little fat cells, which isn't necessarily a bad thing up to a point. Now the issue is that once you can no longer recruit more fat cells, right, you get hypertrophy.
Look, this is all good.
So the fat cells start to expand.
But it's enough for me to
and
know
this is
that
exceptionally dangerous
you can't move
because what
less.
ends up
And we know that
happening is
moving
the blood
good
vessels
for your health.
get outpaced. So the fat cells can't get oxygen.
Less mobility
and they
than
start
that.
screaming, literally. And when they do, they release
Why is she
cytokines,
shaking her head like
inflammatory
she knows
proteins,
science?
right?
I want to
Oh, no,
pause.
Yeah, sure,
of
like
course
what
you
you're
do
saying.
want to pause. Because it's irrefutable. You don't even know what I'm talking about. So
Jillian, okay, first of all, I don't appreciate the way that you're speaking to me right now. You
Defensiveness.
called me out for just trying to understand the languaging and saying I was talking to like a 3-year-old when I felt like I was talking to you very respectfully. You're talking to me very disrespectfully
well,
right now.
Because she's
Here's the
spitting
thing.
I
knowledge
wanna-
that you don't
You're
know.
telling
So
me you
it's
understand it,
disrespectful
but you
because
don't
I don't know
understand
this
it. You
knowledge.
fundamentally didn't describe it accurately.
But what I understand is that
What's lipotoxicity?
I don't want to talk about, I am
what
not,
it
okay,
is.
here, I'm going to say this straight out. I am not a medical doctor, okay? So I'm not
Okay,
going to
you
talk
said
to
you're
you
a
about
dietitian.
medical diagnosis because that's
you
outside my
said- she
scope.
said
And
she
I'm fully
understood
willing,
what
hey,
Jillian
hey,
asked
I'm
her.
fully
But you
willing to
didn't.
be wrong. What I am here to talk to you about is the fact that people in fat bodies are irreparably harmed going into the medical system every single day because of the term, the O word.
So that's what you want to litigate?
Yeah.
Okay, that's not the claim, though.
The idea that fat-bodied people are inherently unhealthy is, I believe, incorrect.
You're wrong.
No, I'm not
There's a
wrong.
robust amount of data.
I'm not wrong.
Okay, so let me
You can't
finish the
look- you
thought.
can't look at.
And let me finish the
Let me
thought.
finish my thought first,
Okay,
please.
sure.
You can't look at a person's body and tell whether or not tell their health
didn't say
status.
anything
So
about
fat is an
looking at-
endocrine organ. When it overgrows, it does wreak havoc
the main
in
problem
the
that
body.
happens a lot is no one is fighting the same argument. The people that are in this room are just trying to advocate for the way obese people are treated. And there's some other stuff too.
Exactly.
They are trying to like change science, but that's it. And that's not the claim here. But you hopped on this video and now you're about to look stupid because you just want to advocate for people being treated better. And it's like, that's not what the claim is. The claim isn't are obese people treated well in society. The claim is it's unhealthy. And if you're trying to fight that battle, and it's like you're going to lose because we have facts that say it is unhealthy. Are obese people treated worse than other people? Okay, sure, maybe, but that's not the claim here.
It's not
and
the
that's the
claim.
problem. And so you're
It's
trying to
not the
fight a
claim.
battle that we're not on the same
And
ground.
it's like you're fighting for your right to be unhealthy.
Yeah.
Again, if you want to be fat body, that's your choice. You can be fat body all you want to, all by yourself. Okay, be fat body. Wear it proud. However, we cannot deny that being excessively overweight lends to the probability of you having certain diseases or having certain issues down the line. And that's just a matter of fact. I mean, it just is. And let's take out the disease portion of it. Let's talk about what it does to your skeletal system, what it does to your ligaments, to your joints, to your mobility in itself. I told you the other day. Now, listen, I am very aware of where I'm at in my body right now. I am not claiming fat body, just for one. I would never say fat body. That is so dumb to me. If somebody hollered down the street, hey, fat body.
Yeah.
What is that? Anyway, I am very aware of where I'm at right now. And this is not where I've always been. And I've had various levels of sizes and stuff like that. And there are reasons and causations for the reason why I am where I am right now. But there's nowhere in my mind where I am telling myself that this is okay for the long term. It's not okay for the long term. And that is because of like potential health risk. But I want to feel good in my body. I want my knee joints to be working when I'm like 75. And we know for a fact that the more weight you have on your body, it put more stress and weight on your joints. You can't move. I'm 5'4". I don't have very long limbs, okay? So if I start surrounding my body in bubble wrap, I'm going to lose my mobility. Point blank period. I'm not going to be able to do just normal, regular things. Like, it's constrictive in nature. I'm heavier, therefore I can't lift myself off the floor, upstairs, in and out of the bed. Like, it's just practical science that we can observe. We don't need a doctorate to even observe these things. It's like me telling me that I can take my Hyundai Elantra and become a Mack truck all of a sudden. I can carry the same load as a Mack truck and there be no repercussions. Are you kidding me? The first time I would try to carry a Mack truck load of stuff, the wheels on my car are going to pop. They're going to pop. Do you understand? I'm going to break everything in that car because it's not built for it. It wasn't built to carry that kind of poundage. And if it could drag it across the line maybe one time, it's not going to do it 2 times. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, there is wear and tear, point blank, that we can observe. Now, man, we just got started in this video. Right. I got so much to say. Yeah. But I'm just saying, like, we got to stop fighting for something that isn't real. Should I can't say fat body. Should obese, overweight people be mistreated as a person? Absolutely not. Absolutely, that's terribly wrong. But there are people who are shamed for all kinds of reasons outside of being overweight. So, okay, let's finish. Let's further on.
And the difference is you can control.
You can.
Your body.
You can.
It's composition. It's actually doable.
Yeah, it is.
Believe it or not. All right, here we go.
I didn't finish telling you what happens. So when the oxygen can't get to those fat cells, they'll die and they'll rupture. And then the immune system starts dumping macrophages in to try to clean it up.
But do you know what's even more unhealthy is weight cycling? And as we talked about earlier, only except for your people who
claim. If you want to talk about that claim, we can. The claim is.
So then what are you supposed to do, though? So let's say this person is in a fat body and they are inherently unhealthy, right? We're telling they're unhealthy because they're in this fat body. What are they supposed to do?
Will be significantly more prone to all-cause mortality. For me,
intentional weight loss fails 95 to 98% of the time.
That's not the argument.
So what
Tell
is
me why, though? You would probably know this better than me.
Because weight is not an individualistic pursuit. You narrow it down to this idea that it's causal, like that they're just not trying hard enough. But that is.
I didn't say that. It's multifactorial, unquestionably. A lot of people lose weight. The problem, right, is that they put it back on. Are we in agreement?
Yes.
Okay, great. Why do you think?
Okay, we got to pause there.
I really wanted that to keep going.
Yeah.
I really did.
But she was losing, and they were like, "Nah, someone else needs to come in and lose in your place."
I really wanted to hear that. What Jillian had to finish say about that.
Again, the way these arguments work, this woman. Here's the problem with basing a movement off of offense. Because you're offended when someone gets in front of you, whether they are 100% on the opposition side, if they say anything like it, you're trying to fight the entire opposition instead of the person in front of you. Okay. You got to deal with the person in front of you. So you're like, well, you're saying that it's your fault. You're not trying hard enough. I never said that. You're referring to something that you've heard from other people, and I'm representing all those people in front of you. That's the problem with building a movement off of offense. Another problem with these movements is y'all have no clear defined goals other than awareness and trying to change people's perceptions of you. That is the hardest hill to climb. That doesn't work.
Well, they can't climb hills anyway. I'm just like, ain't none of them climbing no hills anytime soon.
Why do people fight for the right to be in bondage? Why do people fight for the right to be saved? We talked about this on previous things. Like we were talking about the LGBTQ, and we were like, Jesus is offering you freedom, and you're saying, no, I have to be this way. I was born this way. I can't change. Why do people? We have Jesus talked about this, like the good would be evil, good. We usually think about the sin, but even the idea that being able to change where you are, what you were born with, and being able to be something different, that's a good thing. But we now call that evil.
Yeah.
If I look at you and say you don't have to be in the same status, the same body, the same whatever that you were born, you can change, that's evil. No, I'm supposed to be exactly, but it's not, you don't care about what you were born as, because for transgenderism, you can use that argument. What it really is you want to be whatever it is you want to be, and no one to ever put any responsibility on you, because if everyone is a victim, then no one has responsibility.
Exactly. And someone who has held the fat body card for some time, I can tell, and I have not always been that way. Let me tell you, I was the gym girly that was in the gym 5-6 days a week, working out hard, come home after an 8-10 hour day at work, run 3-4 miles on a treadmill, running when it's cold, running when it's hot, going on all kinds of diets, doing all kinds of things, lost weight, gained weight. And it's a big revelation that the Lord had really revealed to me, because there is an answer to this. And it's not because, oh, I'm just predisposed to be overweight, or, you know, genetically I have, what's what I've heard, pretty much genetically you're just meant to be fatter than everybody else. Like, no, there is a reason, a causation. A fat gene. Like there's oh my gosh, there's no fat gene. Listen, I am aware that there are circumstances, there are conditions that people have that may make it harder for them to lose weight, that causes them to put on fluid and things like that. I understand there are imbalances in our brains, imbalances in our hormones and our thyroids. All those things can heavily contribute to the inability of you losing weight easily. Okay. So I acknowledge that. Okay. I also know there's a spiritual side to this. There is oppressions and depressions that happen, deep sadness, all kinds of stuff, that addictive habits. And just because you don't grab a bottle of alcohol or do drugs, you may choose food. So there's always components, things that come against us to cause us to be in our situations. I mean, women have children, your body changes, hormonal fluctuation. Sometimes you don't have the mental bandwidth to focus on losing weight or being in the gym. It's a lot of things. And I think Jillian kind of mentioned, like, there's a lot of factorial things that can contribute to that. But at the end of the day, being excessively overweight, having more body fat than your body is supposed to have, is inherently unhealthy. It's unhealthy. Why are we debating about that? But again, people are not listening. It's like when we talk about communication, people are not listening to understand. You come in to fight with your defenses up, and you're hearing things that's not actually being said. So all you're doing is defending the right to be fat and to be overweight. You're not even listening to the harm. And that's a problem with taking on these identities and taking on these labels and calling yourself these. And because, yes, I'm going to acknowledge people have been discriminated against because of their size. Absolutely. Just like people discriminate against because of the color of their skin, because of their gender, because of their social class, because of how tall they are, how short they are, or whatever. There's discrimination across the board. You name it, somebody's been discriminated against it. That's just the world that we live in, okay? But that doesn't mean that we have to march about it.
Well, I think we have to really determine what the world must be.
Yeah.
And so it's like, okay, we try to make everything civil rights issue. You got to stop doing that. Like, you stop making things civil rights issues that are choices you make.
Yeah.
Okay, at the end of the day, right? But there are people who legitimately believe the world is not perfect or the world must change so that people stop mistreating each other over things that physical things, whatever. Like, you shouldn't mistreat someone because they're black. You shouldn't mistreat someone because they're gay. You shouldn't mistreat somebody because they're overweight, whatever. We have these things. It's like the world must change. And I think fundamentally, you got to change your mind about that. And it's like, I don't think the world has to change on those issues. You might be like, what, Jalen? Like, as a Christian, don't you believe that everybody should be treated well, treated as the way you should be treated? Yeah, but I don't, that is not my main goal in life, is not to get everybody to treat each other nice. That's not my main goal in life. And I fully understand that if that is your goal, you will fail. You will never achieve it. It's not going to happen. So I'm kind of a pragmatist in this way. So it's like, all right, if you're overweight and you're unhealthy and you're being mistreated for all these things, what can you control? Because you cannot control how people treat you, okay? You can't. Maybe someone called you a name or treat you wrong, or you didn't get the attention you needed or something like that. That's all wrong. But guess what you can't control? Those people. All you can control is your decision-making process. You can control how you receive what they say to you and how they treat you, and you can control what you do with your body. I'm not saying that someone mistreated you because you were fat, that the answer is lose weight so you stop getting mistreated. No. If someone mistreated you because you're fat, the answer is to develop a sense of perception to where you don't allow what other people think of you to control how you feel and how you behave. Mm-hmm. That's how you resolve that issue. Separately from that issue, the next thing is, okay, how does your overall health, including your weight, impact your overall health and your ability to live life? Those are the reasons why you should change your body if it needs to be changed. And that's not my business. That's between you, God, your body, right?
Yeah.
That's for you to figure out. So there's two separate issues here, but we're trying to say I'm being mistreated, so I'm fat. So the thing is, we need to make everybody feel better about being fat and make everybody else treat you better while you're fat. It's not, whether or not it's a noble goal, it's a failing goal. You will never achieve it. You're wasting time and you're not helping people that actually need to be helped. What you need to teach people is stop being concerned what other people say about you, right or wrong.
Exactly.
Change the way you see yourself. Develop a relationship with Jesus where I'm beloved by God, despite whatever I've got going on, whether it's sin or whether it's my body. Now I need to make choices so that I can live a long, healthy, prosperous life. And that is separate from the sense of identity that you have, because your body's not your identity. You're not of less worth and less value because you're overweight. There are so many factors that go into why you're overweight today and you weren't 10 years ago.
Yeah.
There's legitimate stuff. There are people who you would try to explain that to and they don't care and they hate you because you're overweight. That's fine. Leave those people alone. Ignore those people. You can't do nothing for those people. But don't create an entire movement to try to tell people that that's the issue. They're the problem. You're fine just the way you are. No, you're not fine just the way you are.
Exactly.
If you're unhealthy,
Yes.
if you're dying, you are not fine the way you are.
Exactly.
They're not fine. What they're doing is wrong, but it's and also, not either or. You see what I'm saying? Like, it shouldn't be protect your right to be unhealthy and try to make the rest of the world treat you better. And I get what they're trying to say. It's like self-love. Like, I need to see myself better. I always felt bad about the way that I looked in this body, and I internalized that. And now this body positivity movement made me feel better about myself. Here's the problem with that from a spiritual perspective. You have not made the division from body and self worth. Instead of realizing my self-worth has nothing to do with my body, you've kept it revolved around the body. You just changed your perspective and said, I am beautiful like this. And it's like, that shouldn't be where we're going. We should be getting to the body doesn't matter for your worth.
It should be, am I whole like this?
Exactly. That's what
and
it should
that's
be.
encompassing not just the physical, but spiritual, mentally, all
because
things.
it's still vanity.
Yeah.
It's all still vanity. Yes, it's vanity that you're being mistreated because you don't fit the norms of beauty.
Yeah.
But it's also vanity to say, well, I am beautiful just the way I am and physical in this body. And you're like, Sarah, I should see myself as ugly. You should, it's weird to say this because I'm not against the concept of beauty and prettiness, but you really got to lose this idol worship we have of our bodies, period. And I'm trying to figure out the best way to put it into words. I'm not against the term beautiful. I'm not against pretty. Call your children beautiful. Make them feel loved and help their self-esteem. But I also train your children that this body's importance is that it's a tool and a vehicle. This isn't the importance of this
it's
body.
Not who you are.
Because here's the thing: if the greatest importance of your body is physical vanity and beauty, as we redefine beauty, you'll just follow those trends. So if we say that being obese is beautiful, then suddenly everybody becomes obese. But if you teach yourself and your children that beauty is a thing and it's in the eye of the beholder, everyone sees something different, but the most important part of your body is that it is a great investment because it is the vehicle you're going to live with to perform the will of God the rest of your life. You need to take care of it. So I'm going to put more focus on the care of this body from a health perspective than I am going to put it on the beauty perspective, because the value of this body is not primarily in its physical beauty. The value of this body is in its longevity, like a car, to get me to the finish line to accomplish the will of God.
Amen.
That's what the focus needs to be. Because
Exactly.
if you put the focus on the beauty alone and make that primary, as the trends change, you'll change. So when we thought that the super skinny models was it, everybody was bulimic and trying to be an anorexic and unhealthy and underweight. Then when we go to body positivity movement, now it's like, okay, well, I'm fine just the way I am. No, you're still unhealthy. So your sense of self is just gliding with the trends of the day, and that's dangerous. It should never change. It should be, I need to be healthy. And whatever it looks like in my body, that's what I'm going to do. All right? And based on where I am in life, maybe my goals change. When I was younger, my goal was be this type of body.
And at the end of the day, know your numbers.
Yeah.
Because if you're emulating somebody else that's big and beautiful, her big and beautiful might be okay for her because of the way she's made. I don't know. But for me, it's not.
Yeah.
It's killing me. So just don't follow trends just because someone else is promoting it and they're making moves, but you don't know that can work for you or not.
And here's the problem with that. Technically, I am overweight according to BMI, right? Now, granted, I'll say this about the BMI. I don't really care about the BMI too much. I think there's flaws in the BMI. They're not so extreme that obviously overweight or obviously underweight people can't just, you could visually tell. It's not that far off. But there are nuances that the BMI doesn't cover. So I'm not a worshiper of the BMI per se. But what I will say is this. I am not the healthiest that I've ever been in my life right now. But you wouldn't really be able to tell because of my frame. My frame trends toward being slim. And I could put on clothes and you wouldn't really tell that, hey, I actually have more visceral fat than I need to be having right now, or I'm not eating properly, or my mobility is not where it needs to be. So I am not as healthy as I know I need to be right now. But if I'm primarily focused on vanity, I can skate by and say, I'm fine just the way I am. I'm beautiful at this side, I'm beautiful in this body, whatever. It's like beauty is not the issue. The issue is health.
Yeah.
And so if we primarily focus on the vanity of beauty, then I can get away with saying, oh, I'm fine just the way I am. I'm healthy. You're beautiful. If you're obese right now and you struggle with, am I beautiful? I'm beautiful. You're beautiful. Decide that you're beautiful. That's fine. We're talking about something else, healthy. So healthy at every size is not, it shouldn't be, say beautiful at every size. I don't care if you say you're beautiful. It doesn't matter if I agree. It doesn't matter if someone else agrees. There's someone who agrees with you. There's someone who looks at you and romantically, sexually be attracted to you at any size. So I'm cool with beautiful at every size. I don't really care. But are you healthy at every size? No.
I think we should go back to the video.
Yeah, we should.
This is a reaction video.
Cacie said she was walking them down. Also said, I love when they get offensive, when they start getting walked down. We had Donald jump in on Facebook. He said he was just passing through, but he said, well, when offended is birthed in the heart, there is the internal attachment of attacking back from that place and any availability to access that emotional avenues. I will get at any cost, no matter if stupidity is in the way. I love the way you put that, Donald.
Yes.
That was great.
Yes,
that's
that's
exactly
good.
it right
Yep.
there. And Pamela on Facebook said, this is good stuff. Thank you everyone for tuning in and watching. We're going to get back to the video. We just had a long...
Get back to the video. That's why y'all here. Y'all here for the video. Because my husband get to preaching real quick.
I'm sorry.
John! I'm getting somewhere!
Yeah, but
All right.
voted out by the majority. Please return to your seat.
Okay.
I'll be honest with you. I'll wait for somebody to fall
I
down.
have lived in a fat body
I really
for
was.
like as long as I can remember.
I mean.
And I've known very many fat people. And I don't think any of us, the people that I know, I can only speak to the people that I know, I don't think any of us are pretending that we're okay with it. What I want to say here is I live with autoimmune disorders, I live with chronic illness, and I'm also neurodivergent. And this is, the body positivity movement has made it so that I can tolerate
this life. I can find ways to thrive, even still. But I'm not pretending that this doesn't bother me. And by bother, I mean that it doesn't hurt to carry my weight. I'm willing to concede with you that carrying around extra weight is harder. It is.
Good.
But it must be done.
I don't know that I agree with you.
That's the problem that I can't change.
Tell me more, please.
Well, tell me why you think it must be done.
Because I've worked really hard to not have this.
What does that mean? Like you beat yourself up in the gym or something?
No, I don't. That's not fun.
No, I'm not. I'm just trying to understand what you mean.
What I mean is that I grew up with a number of undiagnosed conditions, and even I can think back to like middle school, and I couldn't keep up when the PE teacher would make us like run laps, and I'm like, this is physically aching me, and I didn't understand why. And I didn't understand why because I grew up with a single parent, undocumented single parent. We were bound to the medical system that we had access to. I've done what I needed to do.
All the disadvantages.
Because
a number of times to try to lose weight.
It's just like to serve them the one time.
But what did you try? Tell me.
I've worked out at the gym. I've tried to do Pilates. Even yoga. Yoga hurts me.
Okay, so the exercise causes you pain.
The
due to
exercise
autoimmune
causes
condition. Okay, no problem.
Right.
I'm with you.
Dieting, for example.
Okay.
That doesn't make any sense to me. I don't think that food makes very much sense to me in my neurodivergent brain.
This is where mechanistic eating actually helps people who are neurodivergent, and the research supports that because it doesn't have to make sense to you.
Okay.
In other words, it's like you eat on these schedules and you eat these foods and you eat this much, hence the concept, right? Of mechanistic.
I don't know what you tried.
I understand that you don't like it, but you'll have to decide which you don't like more. Carrying the weight or the mechanistic eating, because it actually could be helpful. There are other ways forward, but you told me you tried them.
You failed.
I tried a whole lot. There's a lot of other things to be concerned about. I'm also a social worker. I work with youth. There are a lot of.
Let's go back to you.
Yes.
Tell me.
I'm saying for me, right? There are many things that I'm more concerned about than my weight. My body is not the most interesting thing about me.
You just brought up your weight and said, I don't see a way out of this.
Right.
I've tried everything.
I take care of it in the ways that I can, and I've found works for me.
But you just told me it didn't work for you.
But it works to an extent.
You just told me it didn't work for you.
It works to an extent.
Then this is an irrelevant conversation if you're happy with it.
I stand on 10 toes down, that we are not pretending that
but there's
this is
healthy at any size. There are absolutely elements and aspects of the movement that do put that messaging into the universe. I've had those debates.
You've said?
I've had numerous debates with people who are body positivity activists that try to tell me that they can be healthy at any size. And it's just not the case.
And I disagree with that.
And I can use
shame. You use shame as a vehicle.
It's hard.
I'm sorry, we have to pause. You've been voted out by the majority.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So, from someone who has, again, struggled with this for a large portion of her life, and let me tell you, I struggled with this even when I was at a healthy weight, a normal size. I struggled with body positivity. I didn't want to use that word, but I struggled with my weight because I learned from the Spirit of God that my weight issue wasn't my body. My weight issue was my mind. It was my mind. It's what I saw when I looked in the mirror. So this whole neurodivergent, listen, I get it. Okay, I get it. I'm not gonna go deep into that, but I get it that some people's brains are wired a certain way that makes it more challenging for them to do certain things, right? But we live in a time now where there are many, many systems, many things that help us. So when somebody say, I've tried everything and it didn't work, that's not true. Because you're not going to tell me you ate 2 crackers and a salad and you didn't lose weight. That's not true. What happens is that we attempt certain things with a defeatist mindset already. We come in the game with a defeatist mindset, even if we don't realize it. We come to the table with a defeatist mindset already. I'm going to give this a try. And we put stipulations on it. If I don't see such and such results, I'm done. And your inability to move past the hard or move through the hard is where the problem is. It's not the diet. It's not the exercise. It's moving past your comfortability. You can argue with me all day long. You can say, I've had this, whatever. And she said she has an autoimmune disease. Again, I've already mentioned that I know there are conditions that make it difficult, but not impossible. Okay? And what we do is that we don't submit to difficult. We want it to be easy, except that it's not going to be easy, right? It's not. And I've done a lot of diets. I've done all of them. You name one, I've done some version of that diet, from drinking the lemon water with the cayenne pepper in it, and for 3 days, the army diet. I've done it all, girl. I've done it all. And you know what? There were some results. I lost something, but it wasn't sustainable. It wasn't sustainable. Again, I'm not a dietitian. I'm not a certified dietitian. I'm not a doctor. But again, I feel like a lot of those things don't really mean anything these days. I can read, I can understand, and I have living experience through this process. Okay, I've been on this planet for a number amount of years. Okay, and I've struggled. The thing is, when somebody say I've done it all and nothing works, that's just not true. That's not true. You haven't done it all. Because you're not this unicorn. You're not this enigma. You're not this special case where nothing absolutely works. That's not true at all. It's just not. Unless you are just, okay, I'm not gonna get into that. All I'm saying is, when people say that, it just means that they haven't figured it out yet. And a lot of times when we just have this offense, we won't submit to help. We won't submit to help because we already think we already know. There came a point where I had so much information about diet and exercise. I've done every form of exercise you can think of, that I could write a book. I could write a book. But I said to the Lord, I said, you know what, God, I know nothing. Because you only know what you can prove. You can only know what you can prove. You only know what you have fruit from. And I sat on the couch, I said, Lord, I've done all of these things. I said, what is wrong? And, you know, he began to really work on me. It wasn't a diet. It wasn't an exercise. It was me. It was here. The problem has always been here. He told me, renew your mind and change your body. It's a mind renewal thing. It's a mind renewal. And the moment that we want to hang on to victimhood, we want to hang on to labels, we create barriers as the reason why we can't achieve, and we blame other people, other systems, other things, we will never be able to change. Even if those things are a factor for the reason why you are the way you are. But in order to change, you have to remove away from those factors. You have to renew away from those factors. Otherwise, you will never be able to change. You're going to stay stuck. Now in my journey, I am coming from a different perspective. It used to be vanity. It used to want to try to fit in. It used to come from a place of self-hate. It used to come from that. So I pursued it with that energy, with that fear, with that doubt and unbelief. And though I may got results, but they were temporary. But now I have a real purpose in mind for the reason why I go to the gym, why I eat a certain kind of way. I've lost all the fear of food. I lost the fear of those things. And I stopped saying it's that person's fault. This is the reason why, or whatever. This is a body. It conforms to me and what I want. It doesn't control me. This is why you shouldn't do anything without Jesus. Point blank, period. Because it's all going to be harder. All right. And though the results may not be as fast as it was 20 years ago, change is still happening. There are some legit physiological reasons why it's difficult for me to lose it as quickly as I did 10 years ago, 20 years ago. And I'm working on those things. But I'm never going to say, oh, I've done everything and nothing works, because that means that I might as well just go ahead and dig a grave and just die. If that's the case, I mean, you know, I can talk forever about that.
Yeah. Yep. But I just get back to that servant of the one talent. It's the idea that I'm just so different from everyone else that I can't try based on my circumstances.
Please return to your seat.
Got it. Okay.
Don't fall.
What I'm curious about is, if you care about people's health and you have people in front of you, and I'm sure you have people online who are telling you that the body positivity movement, or I prefer body liberation, body justice, body acceptance, body blah, all the good shit that we like,
Okay.
actually increases their health, then I don't understand your debate. Like, what are you debating if the fat people are telling you it makes their life better?
I'm debating their physical health, and I'm debating the people who claim that you can be physically healthy at any size.
Okay. Do you think you can be physically healthy and mentally unhealthy at the same time?
Of course, but that's not the claim.
Okay, sure. I think the part where I get stuck, I am a mental health professional.
I hate these professionals.
I work with people from a body liberation standpoint. I work with people in all shapes of bodies. What I know to be true from my experience is that body positivity, body liberation helps people take care of themselves. It's very difficult to understand why you think somebody is going to take better care of a body they hate. Like, why body positivity would not inspire people to take better care of their bodies.
My argument. I never said you should hate your
that the
body.
argument?
In fact,
No, you
should.
didn't.
The problem is healthy at every
So
size.
I don't
Beautiful
think
every
that.
size, I'm
Exactly.
cool.
What I think is
Problem
that there are
healthy at
people
every
in the
size.
movement
Yeah.
who have co-opted healthy at any size, and it went from access to health care
Okay.
to quite literally meaning for them that you can be healthy at any size, and that's not true.
Okay. I mean, the studies show that if you're very, 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 very thin, or your body is very, 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 very big, it is more difficult to be healthy. That is absolutely
But
true.
then you agree with me on this point.
I don't, because I don't think body positivity is the dangerous thing.
my
I think
goodness.
I think hatred of fat bodies and people hating themselves and people living in self-loathing because they've been taught that their body is the wrong shape. That's the danger.
Both can be true at once. So
All right. That's the problem. We're trying to rank it, kind of like ranking who's had the most racism against them, so why they have it the hardest. It's like the bigger problem is the way we're treated, and because of the way we've been treated, we hate ourselves. That's the bigger problem. And it's like, sure, if you want it to be, but there's no way to quantify. I mean, from a physical standpoint, no, it's not the bigger problem. The physical standpoint is the fat, the overweight. That actually is physically, scientifically, biologically the bigger problem for the a continuation of your physical life. Now, from a mental standpoint, is it the harder thing? Okay, maybe, but we keep trying to say, let's focus on this and let's move this out the way. The bigger problem is the way everyone's treating you. If we get everyone to treat you differently and get you to see yourself as beautiful, then you'll be fine. Okay, mentally, maybe, but I even debate that because from a biological perspective, being unhealthy in your body and obesity leads to all these other, it's like a comorbidity. There's other things that can go wrong in your body. That's bad in your mental health too. Not being able to get outside or walk around is bad in your mental health. When I watch, it's an extreme example, little 600-pound life stuff. It's not just that I feel bad about my body. They can't move. They can't play with their children.
That's depressive.
Depression comes in. There are things that are a cascading effect that come with being unhealthy, and one of the things about being unhealthy is being overweight. So the idea that we're going to fix the mental health by changing everyone's perception, changing perception of yourself, that can help, but that should be a part of the journey of the overall health, not the overriding primary thing, and this doesn't have to happen anymore. That's the logical disconnect that I'm seeing here.
And her question was, can you be, I guess, skinny and be unhealthy? Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Unhealthy comes in all sizes.
Yeah. But again, we're just fixated on one thing because we're offended. We're just offended.
Let's look at this, right? So the first thing we would want to do, obviously, is incentivize somebody. So it's like, okay, what's the why that's going to allow you to tolerate the how? But hold on. That's the positive. That's the inspiration piece. Okay? Now, here's the issue. If that piece, if all the things that they get out of it don't serve them as much as the things they're getting out of being overweight, and it does provide quite a lot. I can give you an example.
Wait.
Then they're not going unconsciously, they will sabotage the change. Can I give you an example so you'll understand it? Okay, there was a kid that I worked with.
Okay.
On Biggest Loser. He's 18 years old.
Okay.
He shows up with his dad, Ken. They both lose like 100 pounds. They go home and they're visiting their family. It's the holidays. Doors fly open and there's mom. And mom starts crying. And she's not crying tears of joy. She feels like they're gonna abandon her, like they broke the contract, like they've outgrown her. And she becomes sad and she withdraws. So what does the 18-year-old do? He starts eating with mom again. What does the food provide him? A connection with his mom. I had something similar with my dad. It was one of the ways that we connected. Food provides a lot of people with a lot of different things.
Yes, you cannot eat and not have your parasympathetic nervous system turn on at the same time. There's no such thing as not emotional eating. It's fine. It's good. It's great. Food is great.
But what I'm trying to show you is that if, in some cases, the pain associated with continuing that defense mechanism is greater than the pain associated with change, it helps people change in some cases.
Not in the long term. And I
Can
struggle.
we pause there?
agree with
Sorry,
you.
you've been voted out by the majority. Please
It's
return
because
to your
what
seat.
Jillian was saying, just kind of trying to find what she's saying, is that there are people who will stay in an unhealthy situation because they get more attention. They feel more loved or want because of that kind of attention. I mean, it's not the same thing. It's not the same thing. I'm going to say it again. It's not the same thing. But when I was pregnant with JJ, and I got so much attention with him. He's the first grandson. He's, my first time being pregnant, all of it. And I got so much love. No matter what I want, I got. Everybody would just help me out. Your parents, my parents, like it was just you. I just felt so loved and so elevated. It was intoxicating. I love being pregnant. I loved it. The moment he was born, a lot of that went away. And I'm good, y'all. I'm good. But,
The privacy violations. Dang it. They got us.
Man.
They got us on YouTube.
Can he still hear us and see us?
No. Not until I figure out a way to get us back. Well, some platforms will. So go ahead and continue for the other platforms.
Oh, man. If y'all can hear us, just let us know. The moment he was born and he was here, live and real, that attention went away. The attention went away. And I felt a little sad. Now, my parents here will say, we didn't do that. We didn't do that. Yeah, you did. I mean, I felt it because all became about JJ. It all became about him. Everybody want to hold him. They would come in. How's the baby? Well, how about me? And he still gets that attention to this day. He's 5 years old. And I'm good. But it's just like sometimes we want to be in certain positions because it makes us feel good. It gives us the attention that we want, even if it's not healthy attention. We want that attention. So the example she used about her clients that lost all this weight, went home, mama didn't like it because she felt a certain kind of way. Because here's the thing about change: when you start to change, depending on your environment, depending on the crowd of people you hang around, they're not going to celebrate it because it highlights their deficiencies. It makes them feel like they're wrong. They get offended by your change. So depending on what kind of person you are, you're either going to push back on that and say, hey, I'm going to stay changed because change is good, or you're going to placate to it and then go right back to your old habits.
All right, we're back on the platforms. I don't know if we can keep playing the video or not. That's the problem. Maybe I can play audio and turn the video off. I have a couple ideas. But anyway,
so did they miss all that? YouTube missed all what I said?
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing we can do about it. It just is what it is. But the other platforms were still going. So
I'm going to repeat it a little bit for YouTube because I thought it was a very powerful point. Before the live went off, I was saying that I don't know if they saw the example that Jillian was talking about.
They did.
Okay, so I was just saying that even though it's not the same, it is not the same at all. When I was pregnant with our son, I got so much attention that I loved it. Like, I got anything I want, any time of day, everybody from both sides of the family. It was just all love. Felt so good to be sort of elevated and have all the attention on me. Once JJ was born, it all went away. They would say it didn't, but it did. And it's one of them things, and any mama can know how this feels when people come into the room. Oh, let me hold the baby. How's the baby? They bring stuff for the baby and forget you exist. And for a few minutes, I felt a certain way about it. I was like, well, I did carry the baby. I am the reason why the baby is here. Can I get some love? But you feel the absence of that attention. So in a negative way, if you're a person who needs to have attention or are people pleasers, you will sometimes allow yourself to stay in an unhealthy situation or let somebody bully you and thinking that your change isn't good and that, you know, you're making the rest of us feel bad because you changed, you will go back to your old habits and become unhealthy again. So like that young man, he went home, the mama didn't like it because what the mama realized, it highlighted her deficiency. She felt out of place because now they're smaller and out of shape. I mean, in shape, and she's still left the same way she was when they left to go on this journey. She feels highlighted and it makes her feel bad. So the son, trying to placate to the mom and not make her feel insecure, fell back into bad habits and gained weight back. So that's what happens a lot of times when our environments don't support healthy change. But yeah, there are people, and we've had people comment and say people don't do that kind of stuff. People don't do things to people don't like drama. Yes, they do. People do a lot of things to get attention. In relationships, we do a lot of things to get attention, even if it's negative attention, even if it's unhealthy for us, we will do something totally unhealthy.
And I think one of the bigger problems, and I see this with marriage too, is we prioritize happiness. And so if it makes us feel good, then it's right. And that's just wrong. Like spiritually, that is incorrect. Just because it makes you feel good doesn't mean it's what you should do. It doesn't mean it's the correct thing to do. And so if eating makes you feel good, if feeling good about your body makes you feel happier, then okay, it must be that. And I must need to feel good about my body and feel happy and all stuff like that. And it's like, no, that's not the case.
Exactly.
Like if it's unhealthy or if it's spiritually wrong, it's not okay. Just because cheating feels okay doesn't make it a good thing to do. Just because it makes you feel good. So the idea that if it makes me feel good, then it must be what I need to do. That itself is part of the inherent issue. Because if eating makes you feel close to somebody, if eating makes you feel better after you had a breakup, then that's what I need to do. No, it can be legitimately unhealthy for you to do that. And that it doesn't become okay just because it makes you feel good. Exactly. All right, we got cut off on YouTube because we got copyright struck. Hopefully it was based on visual and not audio, because I think I figured out a way. It's going to look really stupid, but it's going to allow us to keep going, and you can hear. You're always
taking the mic away from me.
And you're going to be able to hear it. So let me get this going. And
you're not
going
to be able to see it.
You're not going to be able, yeah, kind of, but you're going to be able to hear it at least. All right, here we go.
So earlier you were speaking about how there's randomized control trials that
there's
show
Mendelian randomized control trials that have now shown us that obesity is causal to all-cause mortality.
Okay, so I disagree with that. I think there's going to be a problem with
dozens.
But here's why I disagree. Because
you can disagree.
No, but let me please let me hear me out. Okay.
Down,
so the reason why is because registered
right
dietitian, school for 6 years, studying nutrition, weights, all the stuff. And we can't keep.
I'm scared these professionals.
It doesn't come up in my curriculum because it's bullshit. Because it's a TikTok thing that's like, cortisol face or whatever.
It's not. Listen to me. It is not bullshit.
It's
ectopic fat.
But can we just say, because you keep sidestepping and then we can never get anywhere?
I'm not sidestepping. This is the claim.
Okay.
The claim is that obesity is unhealthy. Lipotoxicity is not bullshit. But it is the definition of ectopic fat.
It's funny it never came up in 6 years of a professional accredited undergrad.
What's fatty liver disease?
I know what fatty liver. I was a clinical dietitian in a hospital.
That's lipotoxicity. Okay. So, when fat is in the liver, when fat is in the heart, when fat gets deposited in the brain.
Yeah.
That is lipotoxicity, and it happens when the body has no place to put the excess energy anymore. It is irrefutable that is bad for your health.
Can we just go back to the correlation doesn't equal causation? So you're saying there's causal studies, right?
Yes, MRT studies that show.
The acronym is great. Okay, so my thing is, the reason why we cannot show that the fat in and of itself leads to the negative health outcomes is because we cannot keep a human in a lab and control every factor, but have the only thing that's different.
No study for anything ever.
But can you just listen? So a person
inherently eliminates any conflating factors because they're based on genetic predispositions coupled with lifestyle.
But can I just share? A person in a larger body has experienced things that we can't undo from the fat. So for example, they might have negative health outcomes because every time they go to a doctor, instead of being given an evidence-based treatment, like I have unearned thin privilege,
like
I go to a doctor, I say, my stomach hurts. I get a full workup.
I also don't know what she said. It's something about privilege. I have no idea.
Are you trying to tell me that having fat in your liver,
I just want to talk
having
about
fat in your heart, having fat deposited in your brain is healthy?
No, I just want to talk
about.
Okay,
so no, you're not trying to say that it's healthy.
No, I'm not trying to tell you that is what I said. I was never talking about the health of it.
Okay.
I'm trying to say everything you're saying is hinging on this idea, and it's a problem that we disagree on it, that it's the weight in and of itself that leads to the negative health outcomes. You're saying this MRT totally is...
Fat is an endocrine organ.
I know, but can
it
you... What about...
It destroys your hormone balance. It creates insulin sensitivity.
Exactly. What about
when
the
your
fat
body
is
has too much
fat,
fat,
it releases
insane amounts of different...
She's saying like that what people are saying is that the fat is the problem of why you have a negative health outcome, whether it be death or whatever. But she's saying it's not the fat itself. It's the fact that when you're fat and you go to the doctor, they only focus on that and they don't pay attention to anything else. And so you're not getting the care you need because you're getting less care because you're in a fat body. That's why you get negative health outcome, not because the fat is causing a negative health outcome. And what I'm saying to that is people use that for black people use it for all kinds of things. But the problem with that is I'm sure we could do a study and get a percentage of people that were mishandled by the medical system because they didn't pay attention to whatever else was going on. But that doesn't remove that the primary issue for most people that have passed away or had negative health outcomes, whatever you want to call it, that their obesity, their being overweight played a major role in it.
Listen, I do, just based on how you explained it, yes, I do believe, because I've experienced it. You go to doctors, they see you, they weigh you, they know your age. They do have check boxes.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Okay? They have check boxes and say, okay, because of this age, weight, race, or ethnicity, I'm saying because we're humans, right? Human race. There's only one race. But your ethnicity, yes. And they didn't want to go down the line of your family history. And yes, sometimes they do not look at you as an individual and measure your metrics individually and figure out what's wrong with you. That is a large part, the brokenness of the quote unquote health system. I don't really believe.
I'm not about to defend the healthcare system at all.
Absolutely. So yes, I do believe people that are bigger bodies come into a doctor's office and they see that, they automatically think that your problem is linked to that. And they're probably not wrong. They're probably not wrong. And I think that we got to stop. Again, we got to stop. They can't get past the fact and may not want to go deeper into that, but they understand from just a general understanding that you being overweight invites certain problems. It just does.
And my problem with that is, and this is just me, self-motivated person, but if I know that my being overweight would make it harder for a doctor because of their bias, whatever you want to call it, to figure out what's wrong with me, then I'll be like, that's another reason why I want to make sure I'm not overweight.
Yep.
My mission wouldn't be let me change the whole world's perception of me and other fat people. Because I would look at the cost benefit analysis and realize that's harder. It would be easier for me to lose weight than it would be to change the medical system. Like, I don't put my life in the hands of medical system at all. Like, if I get a doctor that's not figuring it out.
You got to be a self-advocate. You need to learn how to read and be educated about you and your body. Don't be lazy and don't let nobody tell you every little thing. And yes, I get it. This is why the kingdom of God way is the best way. Because we're too broke.
Yep.
Because we can't afford the things that you really need is not going to be in the circle of your insurance. It's just not.
Nope.
I can tell you that right now. It's not. What you really need is not going to be there. The people that you need to really work with, the insurance is not going to cover it.
Nope.
Yes. The healthcare system is broken. You gotta understand that it's a money grab system. Like, okay, this is not the topic. I'm like, no, this is not the claim of this video. But I get the frustration. All right, being a woman, number one, women's health is to all pieces.
Yep.
All right, it is terrible. Being a woman, being someone who is clinically overweight, yes, you do feel like again, a checkbox. It doesn't mean that all doctors are that way, because they're not. I've experienced people who actually care about me as a whole person and investigates me as a whole person. I've experienced those things, but I had to go outside the box for that. And that costs money. And that costs me taking time doing my research. It literally cost me having to travel hours outside of my home base. Hours. Okay? A lot of us aren't willing to do that. Or a lot of people say, well, I'm not privileged, so I can't do that. Or I'm immobile, I can't do that. My conditions allow me to do that. There's always something. I get that. And
well, no, because at the end of the day, this is where it comes back to God.
Yeah.
We didn't always have the money to do whatever. We were always privileged or whatever, but we trusted God, and we would take steps of faith, and he always made a way. So that's why I say you got to live life with Jesus.
Amen.
Let the favor of God remove all disadvantages and break through the walls. Because, the medical system is not good. And it's like, okay, everything you just said, like, well, you shouldn't have had to do that. Maybe not, but I don't live my life with, I shouldn't have to do it, so I'm just not going to do it. I do what I have to do. And if it's your mission, if God has called you to fix the medical system, if God has called you to do this, that, or the other, then do that. But don't die on the vine while you're doing that. Because guess what? It's not going to be possibly done in a generation. Yeah. It's going to take time to do it. It's going to take time to advocate and to rework health systems like that. I got no problem with doing that. Do that. But don't be delusional while doing it. Don't say, this is the problem. And it's not the problem that you're overweight. That's not the problem. The problem is that the doctors won't look at you because you're overweight. No, it's not the problem. It's a problem amongst the millions of other problems in the world, but it's not the problem. And that's where you got to have that balance of like, yes, advocate for what you advocate for, fix what needs to be fixed, but don't be delusional. Don't rewrite reality. Because of all the people in the world with many comorbidities that are obese, if we pressed a button and they were all within the right BMI range or whatever is healthy for them to be right with their fat body or whatever like that, a lot of health issues will go away. Like 90% of them would. It would be a very small percentage that would still have a lot of health issues that they have that had nothing to do with their obesity. And the body is so interconnected that it's very difficult to say it has nothing to do with this. Like, it's very difficult to say, even your neurodivergence, even autoimmune, it's very difficult to say that this is completely unrelated, divorced from this issue, and this issue you look at separately. Your whole body is connected. Everything affects everything.
Exactly.
You'll be surprised what changes when you're focusing on one thing, but, oh, dang, that was affecting that? Yes. Everything affects everything. It's just the reality of it. We have to stop pretending like it's not the case.
It is. All right, back to the upside down dark video.
Yeah, at least they haven't cut us off yet. So this is how it's working.
I just wonder, have you heard of social determinants of health?
Oh my gosh.
Tell me about it.
Okay, social determinants of health, a group of factors that impact someone's health outcomes.
Okay.
That are things like,
I'm sorry, it's presentation. Y'all come with these words that invite ridicule. Exactly. Social determination of health. I'm not going to say that there's not some validity to that study, whatever you're about to talk about, but y'all's presentation is so terrible. Y'all need new marketing.
Your healthcare access and quality, neighborhood and built environment, things like your stress levels, socioeconomic status.
Okay.
So here's the thing. A person who's fat or lives in a larger body, we can't take away that person has probably experienced higher stress levels their whole life from experiencing marginalization every corner, from shows like The Biggest Loser to the doctor's office.
Okay.
We can't take away that they haven't been given evidence-based health options because when they go to a doctor, they're told to go lose weight.
When fat gets deposited in the brain,
you're not answering what I'm saying.
How does, I'm confused. Are you suggesting these are the reasons people become overweight?
No, I'm suggesting that a person could be in a larger body and be perfectly healthy based on their lab,
that
their
only
cholesterol.
7% of people who are classified as overweight or obese, call it whatever you guys feel comfortable with, only 7% are classified as healthy.
Say that was true. Say we knew for certain.
I can go grab the data for you right now if you want.
Say we knew for certain that it was unhealthy, that what you're saying is true.
That's just possible.
And here's the classification.
So it's this thing that I've learned over the last handful of years, especially the last 2, is that you can go to a doctor, you can get your blood work done, and your labs can come back normal. All right. Have to understand that depending on who is measuring the metrics of your blood and things like that, or which lab, there's only but so many labs out there, but depending on who is doing it, their charts or their guidelines are different. All right. They vary. So your lab can come back normal, but things are still not working right in your body. So somewhere something is wrong. And what they do is they will say, oh, it's because of your age. Oh, it's because of this, and the third. And it's a real solution. Oh, well, it just is what it is. There's within range, and then there's optimal. Jillian's mentioned that there's 7% of people that's considered overweight that's healthy, or what she say? Like,
well, they got the fat checked up there. It says that 6.8%, she said 6.8% of the adults with obesity were metabolically healthy. So the only 6.8%.
So a very small percentage of people. Like right now, I know that I'm not pre-diabetic. I know I don't have heart disease. I know all of that. Even though I am clinically overweight, I present healthy. Now, I'm healthy by the blood of Jesus, right? I'm just talking about from a very technical point of view. All right. But there are things that are not working at optimal peak right now for me. So I got to get to the root cause of it. And being overweight is not helping it at all. It is suggested that, hey, we need to work on that. And alongside with figuring out other things.
And they would probably tell you to focus on that first, because you got to look at this.
And make it easier.
Well, you got to look at it like investigation. A crime's been committed. You don't start with the least possible scenario.
Yeah.
If there's someone's been murdered, you see the body, you see a weapon's been left behind, and the window's been bust open, like someone's jumped through it, right? It's like, okay, it's likely that the killer jumped out the window and ran through the backyard. We should send officers to go check that out now. That's the most likely scenario, okay? But then someone else comes in and says, well, look, there's a bird in here, okay? Is it possible that this was their pet bird and they got angry and it killed them? Yes. In some multiverse, there's a 1% chance that happened, but it's very unlikely. So let's focus on the most likely scenario, mark that off the list, and then we'll get back to this. This is on the bottom of the list. But time is of the essence, and we don't have all day to chase down all the different smaller extraneous possibilities. Let's focus on the major possibility, because it's more likely that the bird flew in through the window after the glass was broken. That's more likely. But that's how we sound when we try to make it all these other issues. We focus on these extraneous issues that could contribute a percentage, but it's not the most likely scenario. And when a doctor comes in front of you, and again, the medical system is broken, but that general doctor's got 5 minutes with you before he goes to the next person. So he's going to focus on the most obvious thing and say, focus on this, and then come back to me if you're still having problems.
Yeah.
Because that's all they got time for. All right? If you got money, go find someone who'll dig a little bit deeper with you. That's fine. Because, hey, maybe there's something else going on metabolically that's making it harder for you to lose weight, and that's part of the problem.
There are some people in there that's all about the money. A very extremely obese person come into the doctor's office and say, oh, my knees hurt.
They're gonna say it's
they're gonna look at you. They'll be like, "Yeah, you think?" Again, it'd be like that example I used earlier about my Hyundai Elantra trying to be a Mack truck, trying to be a dump truck out there, and my car talking about something, bro. My axles, they're making noise. You think you're dragging 1,000 pounds? You ain't built for that. Yeah, it's like, and then we get offended if they're like, you know what? I think you ought to try to lose some weight.
Yep.
Okay. Because that'll help, release that. Now, by this time, you probably have worn down the cartilage in your knees because of your weight. Yep. And then let's get knee surgery. Let's get a new knee joint. Yeah. But you lose no weight. Yeah. Guess what's gonna happen?
Happen again.
It's gonna happen again.
And to be fair, I look at the fact check on the screen. So they said, yeah, that 7% thing was right. They said there was other research that was done, and those, if you change if you use different definition of metabolically healthy, then the estimates can be higher, and it could be anywhere from 10 to 30% of people who are still metabolically healthy while being obese. So let's go with that scenario. Let's go with that study, since that's more generous. So 30% possibly of obese people are still metabolically healthy. That's metabolically. We didn't say anything else. We just said metabolically.
And I can tell you why. Again, not being a doctor.
Yeah.
But we were part of a CrossFit gym.
Yep.
For a couple years. And when I tell you there are different types of bodies in there. Skinny bodies, large bodies, everybody moving, all right? And I'm going to tell you, some of these large body people can move better than me. They were getting it, right? And this have been known. My chiropractor tells me all the time, he said, look, a person that smokes a pack of cigarettes a day but's active can live longer and stronger than a person who's inactive. All right. Now that he's promoting smoking, because smoking does harm you, but it's the movement, motion, being in motion. It just helps the body overall. So there are a lot of thick people, a lot of large body people who are very active. They do walking, do all these things. So they will have a higher metabolic rate than somebody who's not active. That's just because moving is so helpful and so important. But it doesn't mean that them being overweight doesn't cause restrictions and could potentially lead to something else down the line.
And again, if those people are the ones in that 30%, let's say it's high 30%. What you're saying is you want to rewrite everyone's perception and the health system to attend to the 30% and not the 70%. Because regardless, it's still a majority that are unhealthy because they're obese or unhealthy and obese. But you're saying because of potentially as high as 30% of them are fine, even though they're obese, we need to focus on that. That's just bad math. That's just no.
Yep.
No. Like,
and
we're not going to do that.
Coach Crochet said in the comments, she said sometimes when you get your labs back, the doctors won't disclose things that you need, like lacking certain vitamins or hormones. But because they can't sell you supplements, they won't address it. Absolutely right.
Yep.
That happens a lot when I was pregnant. You got to do your own research. That right there. They cannot. I went to my OB and I tell her the things that I'm on, like supplements. They can't talk about it. They can't advise you. Number one, they're not trained in it. And if they do, they can get you in trouble because they're taught to sell you a drug. And that's it. They don't want to hear about your holistic doctor. They don't want to hear about nothing holistic or anything like that outside of medicine because they're not trained in that. There's no money in that. And they could literally lose their license by telling you otherwise. So yes, you have to know stuff. You have to do your own research. You got to pray about your own body and get wisdom from God and let him lead you to the right information and doctors and institutions to help you because a regular doctor is not, they're not going to, and like I said, there's a general, like iron, for instance. I was iron deficient probably my whole life. I don't know. But I was severely iron deficient. Like my ferritin levels were really low. Labs came back within range. But I was so low on the range. Like I'm so low on the range at the time of my last blood work. But they say you within range. They didn't say to me, you know what, you should take more iron. But because of what I'm trying to achieve, I need to be way like in the middle. I need to be so much higher. But they weren't like, oh, you know what, I'm gonna give you a prescription for iron. Well, you're within range. You're normal. But then my new doctors are like, bro, no, you need to be way up in the hundreds over here. Like,
which coming back to this, you know, they would hear that and be like, well, that's what we're trying to say. So public medical system. But that's my thing. So why is your focus on the medical system? Focus on you.
Exactly.
Because you can't depend on them regardless, whether it's bias, whether it's big pharma, whether it's personal interest, they don't have enough time, whatever the reason is, don't put your health in their hands.
Exactly.
Forget body positivity, forget BMI. I need to be healthy.
Exactly.
I need to be able to move. What are some laws that we know? Motion is good.
Motion is good.
Not being pain in my joints is good.
Yep.
You know, breathing oxygen, going for a walk and not being out of breath, climbing steps is good. So let me just do that. Let me just do that. And if I lose some weight along the way, great. If a lot of weight doesn't come off like somebody else, great. Let me just do the things that make me know I am healthier. Let me eat the right foods. Whether or not I lose a lot of weight, let me eat some broccoli. let me just eat something that I know is not full of trans fats, saturated fats, and all that stuff. Let me know that, yes, eating the Doritos is probably not a great thing to do 10 days in a row, a full bag each day. Just use some common sense.
Not a full bag each
Whatever
day.
you look like after 90 days, I'm good with that. If someone says, oh, you should be skinnier, I don't care. I have made decisions that have made me healthier. Just do that. Stop depending on everybody else and just take care of your body.
Continue with the upside down. I'm gonna keep calling it that.
Once I find it. Okay. Here we go.
Then, even then, we'd be in this place where, okay, so what do we do? Are we going to send
I don't
someone
think we'll
down
get through
a
this
path
whole
video.
of trying to lose weight and then gaining and trying and gaining? And we know that weight cycling in and of itself,
do
bad
this
for
with
the
the
heart,
hands.
bad for
You
insulin,
can't make
bad
it
for the
work.
brain,
What do you do?
bad for all the things.
We work with that individual.
That's what I do in my private practice.
Well, that's wonderful.
Yeah, and I don't encourage weight loss because it's unethical.
Oh my gosh, you
I
just lost
disagree
it.
with you.
Any point you were
And
making,
what's
you lost it.
ethical? You were
Unethical.
asking before
I think
what
it's
a professional
unethical
do.
not to be
Weight
transparent
loss is
with people
unethical.
And
about the
transparent-
dangers.
Yeah, transparency is the dangers of weight cycling. You can go down that
That's
path.
a separate issue. You're presuming they're
How-
weight cycling. If you're doing your job, they shouldn't have to weight cycle, right?
No, it's not about me. It's about the body. The body is so smart. But we're animals. Our bodies, when we lose weight, our body goes, oh shit, she just starved me. I'm gonna do everything I can to try to get back to that place. Drive up thoughts about food.
I think it's more
slow down
complex.
metabolism to conserve the energy you are getting.
So are you suggesting that because it's hard and it's multifactorial, we should negate the dangers and not try to get
I'm
healthier?
suggesting that it's more dangerous to weight cycle than it is to stay in a fat body.
Still not the claim. And if you want to show me that, sure, show me the data. I'm not going to argue with that. It's not healthy to do that either. That's still not the claim.
Your claim
this
is
isn't a
fat in of itself.
hierarchy of what is unhealthy.
We're out of time. We have to pause there. Yeah, thank you for that exchange.
Cycle is more healthy. No weight cycle. I don't know how to.
Who put these here? Can someone remove these off?
So, what are you classifying as large?
Is that the large food companies are one of the primary beneficiaries of the body positivity movement.
All right, if you want to be the next debater, get to the chair in 3, 2, 1.
I'm ready.
Hi. How are you? I'm Siobhan.
Nice to meet you, Siobhan.
So, what are you classifying as large food companies?
Okay, PepsiCo, Coca-Cola, General Mills.
Okay. Now, if they were beneficiaries and benefactoring and making all this money
Benefiting is
off
the
of
word
the
for it.
body positivity movement, why is it that they spend billions on calorie counting apps, on a lot of things that we see in society
Because they're gonna get in your
as
pocket. They gonna
forcing
get it
the
every
losing
angle they
weight, or
can.
talking
They make
about
money
losing weight?
everywhere.
Because that to me doesn't make sense and doesn't correlate. But also, people that are benefiting from this are the people in the body positivity movement themselves. A little bit about myself.
Wait, can I clarify
Oh,
one
please,
thing?
please,
I'm
please.
talking predominantly about finance.
Okay.
Sorry.
Perfect. Thank you. Even that, I still will say, so I come from the wedding industry. So I created the first publication in the world for plus size brides. I've now gotten 13 wedding publications around the world. And my biggest thing is the wedding industry is very centric on this is what the wedding industry looks like. I have created a platform where and not just larger bodied body positivity, but body positivity for all sizes. And I'm gonna come specifically from the wedding industry, which is very different, I know, but it still is very weight centric.
Okay,
Yes.
so your argument is the wedding industry is the primary beneficiary?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that's where my knowledge comes from.
Okay.
But the body positivity movement is really for us. We are the main, and I'm saying we because I'm a large body
I
person.
totally understand.
That's where it's
Can
really
I show
coming
you
from.
the ways
Please.
they're exploiting it?
Oh, please, please,
Okay,
please.
so there have been
So
two really big
watching this
exposés.
part,
One by the Washington Post
This is one thing where
and
it's like
one
talking
by
past
the
each other.
Examiner.
She's saying they're financially
So they're
benefiting
coming
from
at
that.
this
We're
from
benefiting the most because it's helping us. It's like, okay,
numerous
we're talking about
angles. So
financially.
the first one is
You
they've
know.
gone after a lot of the intuitive eating dietitians.
Okay.
So can I give you some statistics?
Please.
Okay. So Washington Post analyzed more than 6,000 social media posts by 68 registered dietitians with a combined reach of over 9 million followers. 40% of them were using the anti-diet language, right? Like food freedom, no food rules, ditch the diet, healthy in any size, so on and so forth. Very often not disclosing the fact that they were paid by the big food companies.
Okay.
Okay, so they're basically going after the intuitive eating dietitians. I can give you Abby Sharp.
But that's okay though. But I want you to listen.
Okay,
because
yeah.
they are doing that.
Yes.
But the aspect that the body positive movement is really for us, that is not even anywhere we need to equate into it. It
Don't
really
agree
is.
with you. When they're
That's
using
fine.
your movement.
But do you, and I'm gonna say this clearly and for right now, I don't care who uses my fucking movement. I want the movement to be there.
To make it very,
and that right there, they can take it. It's marketing and sales 101. Of course, they're going to use the fucking movement.
But then
because
why did you guys say you don't get to co-opt our
movement? I will
movement?
say this.
That's not for me to do.
The idea that, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's like, and I can't say that this person is also in every other movement, but it usually matters. People get mad when the large corporations start profiting off of or manipulating movies like that. But since you're also profiting, because you got your wedding business, you're cool with it because you're one of the people profiting. And it's like, but it also goes to show that it's all a game. And there are true believers. Some of those people in that room are true believers in the body positivity movement. But at the end of the day, it's a game. A lot of people are making money off of it. Some of the influencers, the big body influencers, they're making money off of it because it's a trend right now.
Exactly.
Even if they're getting hate in their comments, they'll post themselves in a bikini, super overweight, because they know the comments and the share it's going to generate is making them money. Everybody's just making money off of this. There are some true believers for sure, but you got to realize it's a money game. And then as the money starts to run out, then we'll move to the next thing. That's why now there's protein in Doritos because we're now on the protein kick. Like it just shifts and flows.
You have to understand everything's a trend. I remember now, I'm a millennial kid, right? I remember when organic came out and food began to be labeled organic. I remember when no sugar stuff was like a big thing and everything became low sugar or no sugar kind of stuff. And it's like we put it on every single thing. They don't change nothing about their food. It's still unhealthy, but they know the psyche of a person, a big body person or somebody who doesn't have control, that people want to be included. So let's make a diet soda. Don't stop drinking soda because we need you to keep drinking soda. But let's just make it a diet soda. You'll feel better about yourself if you drink a diet soda. Because it's all about getting in your pockets. They're not going to lose money on this body positive movement. They're going to take advantage of it. And what she's trying to show you, Jillian trying to show everybody, is that they're taking advantage of you. If this body positive movement is so important to you, don't let nobody hijack it for their own gain. That's all she's trying to tell you. But the thing is, like you just said, everybody's gaining from it. Her wedding business is gaining from it.
Yeah.
Like I just got back on YouTube with my makeup business. And now that I'm over 40, I understand that now I have a whole new community of people that I can reach and talk to. So heck yeah. If you're over 40, come talk to me. I got something for you. You know what I mean? So it's like we all do it, even if it's not from a larcenous perspective.
Yeah.
But we all do it. So, but she's saying that they're doing it and they're calculating it. It's premeditated.
And to make people even more unhealthy.
Exactly. Exactly.
Because they used to have to fight to convince people to drink their products or eat their products.
Exactly.
Now it's like, oh, well, now it's perfectly fine. It's
and when
healthy.
it's not, because it's still not healthy. It's just repackaged, relabeled.
All right. There we go.
The thing is we don't care. But it's not about we should. We are doing what we're doing because this is our family. This is our world.
There are people
it doesn't matter about what. Do you think I can? But the thing is, we don't care. We are the movement.
But there are a lot of people that are being hurt by this. And these guys essentially are engineering food to be addictive.
And you know what? And I will say this. Okay. I will say this.
Yeah.
I will give you the claps on that. I will say, yes, that is true. But what I do want to say is that it happens all the time. A movement starts and someone comes in and takes it. Right. And someone comes in and comes in it. And so someone comes in and runs with it.
You don't deny it. You just don't care. That's what you're saying.
No, I'm saying it's fine for them to do that. But the bigger issue that I want you to realize is that the body positivity movement is ultimately for us. If someone wants to come and get on our coattail, that's perfectly fine. But for us, it doesn't need to go away. It doesn't need to go anywhere.
It doesn't go away.
But
I'm suggesting.
Now, see, there's the
co-op the whole
Okay.
I like it.
Okay. Matter of fact,
I'm
they probably
suggesting
was the one
that it
that
could
started
evolve.
it.
That
Who
you guys
started
could
it?
call out when you're
Who started
co-opted.
the movement?
That you could centralize
asking that.
messaging so that it's not all
Now
over the
that,
place.
Jillian,
Right?
I am not
Who
opposed
started
to
the movement?
Okay, I'm not opposed to that.
But I'm not saying it should. That's not a claim.
No, but the thing is I want you to know who the true beneficiaries are. You're saying that they are the main beneficiaries.
I'm speaking financially.
Yeah, and
I
that's
apologize.
And that's
back
okay.
in 1960s.
But you're saying the claim says that the large food companies are the main beneficiaries of the body positive movement. That is not correct.
I understand.
Because we are the main people.
It
we are the main beneficiaries of the body positive movement. If someone wants to come and get on our coattails, go ahead.
Disagree with you on that. I think that's a mistake.
And that's okay.
I think that you guys could tell them, you could expose what they're doing. Can I read you something else?
Please.
Okay.
I'm here to hear.
Can I just show you
like
how diabolical this is, okay?
Big mad she is.
I have a friend that's on the inside. He sent me this. He goes, I just want to show you the ways in which this is being in the inside of
listen.
I can't say that a
big
big
food
food. You got it.
Yes,
Exactly.
yes.
I guess.
So here's the intentional message overlap, right? So healthy at every size. Quote, you can be healthy in any size.
Correct.
Corporate benefit.
That is not the majority.
Removes
I'm here right
health
now. That's
concern
not the
barrier
majority
to sales.
consensus. So
Stay
don't
with
do that.
me, okay?
You get punched in the face.
Dieting doesn't work. Protects snack foods from being cut. Healthy at any size. Weight and health are unrelated. Corporate benefit. Deflects from products causing obesity. Healthy at any size. Weight stigma causes disease, not weight. Wait.
Okay, I'm gonna let you.
I'm just showing you. This is
what
this
I
is an
want
internal.
to bring. What I would love, and I'm saying love because I want it, but I love it more. If there is such a resistance to the body positive movement, and I'm speaking specifically kind of from your standpoint,
okay.
yes.
Yeah.
If there's such a resistance to the body positive movement, why are you letting them take money from you?
Where's the resistance? I'm telling you.
Resistance of acknowledging or saying that it's actual, that it needs to be.
I think that there are absolutely. I think that intuitive eating is a goal, not a treatment plan. I think that having access to health, which is what health in any size at every size was initially intended to do. I think all those things are important. I think, unfortunately, the fact that the movement is decentralized, and it's prone to being co-opted, it can do harm in the ways that I have shown you.
And that's
what I'm saying.
And that we can agree to. I can agree
we
with that.
We got to pause there.
That's good.
We got to pause there. You've been voted out by the majority.
Well, I really appreciate this. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I listen to these men talk. What y'all got to say?
So I really want to focus on what you've just been saying about the co-opting of the movement. Because what you seem to be critiquing is the people who've co-opted the movement, not the people who actually built the movement, not the people who actually are the movement. So the idea that...
What is the movement, though? So the thing is, I don't want to name names, but there are many... influencers who have said these things. So who's the movement?
Influencers and activists are not necessarily the same thing. We were allegedly invited here as activists and advocates. Not always the same thing, right?
I don't disagree, but it's become, as I mentioned, a patchwork quilt of I'm an activist, I'm an influencer, I'm a dietitian. It's whereas when you look at something like AA.
Well, let me guide you to something very clear about the Health at Every Size movement. Health at Every Size is actually a registered trademark of the Association for Size Diversity and Health.
I know.
So when people are misusing that, we are a movement that doesn't have the same resources as the health and wellness industry or the health and wellness grifters or the major food industry, right? We don't have those same resources to fight every time somebody misuses our terminology, our philosophies, our practices, our values. But there are some of us out there who are doing that, right?
I never see the
caveats. I never see the freaking caveats.
They're the primary beneficiary.
Maybe today,
maybe you could help amplify some of the caveats.
I am doing that right now.
Okay, so let's go to the claim.
I'm trying.
The claim that body positivity is primarily benefiting big food companies.
I mean financially.
I got it.
Because individual benefit, I can't, it's not quantifiable. I'm talking about the way these bastards are manipulating this message to do things that I think are very unethical.
So if body positivity is feeding their profits, will we see their profits reduce as this pendulum swing away from body positivity?
Exactly.
And we're losing steam.
I get asked all the time as the director of NAFA, is body positivity over? Is body positivity over because of Ozempic? Is body positivity over because of MAHA? Is body positivity over? Part of my argument is it depends on what you're in body positivity for. If you're in it for systemic change, it ain't over.
The thing I loved about Ozempic. You go ahead.
Go ahead. You say what you're going to say.
The deal about Ozempic is everybody that was pro, I love my body, I'm finally at peace in my body, that all went out the window as soon as we found a magic button to make it disappear. Ozempic was that magic button. Oprah took it. Everybody took it. Then Serena Williams took it. Everybody was like, "Oh, it's game on now." And Serena Williams take it. Ain't nobody be criticized for taking it. And I'm not mad at anybody for taking it. I just hope that 10 years down the road we don't have if you've been impacted by mesothelioma, you may be entitled to compensation. I hope that doesn't happen to y'all. That's my only hope.
I think it's already starting to happen. And we 3 months in this thing. So, I mean, on that point, it's like, if y'all was so positive about your bodies and you didn't feel the need to change it, when Ozempic came on the scene, everybody that could get their hands on it got their hands on it.
Yep.
Because nobody wants to be fat bodied. And that's the reality we got to live in. Nobody wants to be fat bodied, because fat bodied is a chain. Come for me if you want to. Somebody who has dealt with this. Yep. Okay? It's a chain. Now, it's a chain. Nobody wants to be fat bodied. End story. Point blank. I truly believe everybody was designed to be a healthy weight. Whatever the healthy weight is for you is different from person to person. All right? I know we're not all going to look alike. I get that. We're not going to all look alike. But nobody wants to be in a chain. Nobody wants to be enslaved to their body. And if there's a way to get out of it, they will. They will. That's why the diet industry is so big. Yeah. It is so big because people want to be free. I grant you, the industry has taken advantage of people. There are a lot of lies. There are a lot of gimmicks and tricks that don't work. But people want freedom. Simple. We don't like it. And the fact, like, I think one of the people up here somehow, she's found ways to tolerate it. She's tolerating herself because in her mind, she has made it, I can't change. It's always going to be hard for me because of this, and the third. But I'm tolerating. No, you shouldn't tolerate your life. What's the freedom in that? That's depressive. Why tolerate? Listen, I am in a space in my life right now where like I said before, I didn't have the bandwidth to even focus on my health, weight. I had a lot of things going on. Physical things, mental things, situational things. And I felt kind of stuck for a minute. But again, my relationship with the Holy Spirit allowed me to go before him and say, God, this is where I'm at. Help me. Give me the grace. Help me figure it out. And he has. He has. And there's preservation in that. But I am not optimally where I want to be in my life. And I'm not going to stop pursuing it just because it's hard. You know what I mean? I'm not. At the same time, I'm not going to become obsessed with it as well, where I just stop living because I haven't achieved something by a certain time and date. It's a layered cake here, y'all. Maybe I shouldn't mention cake. But it's a layered cake here. It's a lot of things. And I think from Jillian Michaels' point of view, that she agrees there are factorial things that causes us to be where we are. But the argument is that being overweight is not healthy. It's just not. Yep. I don't know why we're arguing with that. Just like mold in your walls. It's not healthy for your lungs. It's not. We're not going to argue about that. You know what?
You will one day.
Maybe. Nobody argues that having an overabundance of mold in your house is healthy for you. But we're going to talk about the mold in our bodies, aka fat. We should be able to do that. Like, seriously, like, we need to stop arguing about these things.
Cozy said, I missed it earlier, but she was like, losing weight is unethical, lying is unethical.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh my gosh. It's crazy how we can just redefine things. Yeah, losing weight, becoming healthy is now wrong. Telling people to become healthy is now wrong.
Well, the Bible said it.
Yep.
The Bible said it so clear. He said there's going to come a time when people are going to think that right is wrong and wrong is right.
Yep.
And we are living that day out so clear and plain.
Exactly. 100%.
system ain't changed, right? But I do concede the point that like we are moving away from some of what we saw as body positivity for the last 10, 15 years.
And what do you mean by that?
As we move away from that, it's less popular, it's less trendy.
I understand.
We're moving more towards a thin-centric ideal again.
Because the
or,
big people lost
leaving
weight.
behind, we've labeled body positivity DEI, and we're turning away from that, whatever.
Lizzo lost
As
weight.
we move away.
Adele came out with a new
Adele-
body. Kelly
Adele-
Clarkson
these food
came out with a
industries
new
drop.
body.
Well,
What
you
we supposed to do?
are.
Why would
They
you
made
need
Oprah like became like the CEO or purchased Weight Watchers, changed to WW, then got Ozempic, then left. It was like, I'm done with y'all snitches. Like, I'm done. Like I'm done with y'all. I'm gonna do my own thing. Like I'm over it. Like I'm
Everybody
not big
got
no more.
skinny.
That's y'all now. That ain't me no more.
Everybody got skinny.
I ain't getting no more. I'm sorry. It's like I'm done now. Like I don't gotta be associated with y'all no more. I'm done being a spokesperson because I don't want to be associated with y'all community no more. And that's the reality. We made a community out of it, but at the end of the day, I don't want to be in your community anymore because now I can be what I always wanted to be. Skinny.
Yeah.
And that's unhealthy that's your mindset, that's all you ever want out of life. Because just because you take Ozempic don't mean you're healthy. It don't mean you're doing healthy things.
Exactly.
So Ozempic isn't better. It's not a solution, but it just goes to show that we were never concerned about health. Like everybody was lying. No one was ever concerned about health. They were concerned about vanity. Because as soon as we gave a vanity button, you pressed it.
Yep.
Now there's some people I believe who did it in for health and stuff and get
make
right.
food genetically addictive if body positivity can just sell that food. If you could just tell people when you feel good in your body, you're going to eat all the Nabisco snacks that you want to.
Because
then why do we
you
have to make them
realize that
addictive?
They don't even want you to stop eating one chip. This is how incremental they are about this.
I don't see why anybody's ever trying to
They
defend.
literally engineer.
That sounds
just hear me out.
Do you
They
remember
don't even want you to
it's
have to stop and
decades.
take a
I grew
drink
up-
of water
pause.
when you're eating their
I
chip.
grew up just decades ago. Lay's, Frito-Lay, Lay's chips, the regular Lay's chips. They used to have a commercial that say you just can't eat one.
Can't eat just one. Yeah.
That was big popular back in the 90s. You just can't eat one. And they showed someone trying to eat one chip and it didn't work. They ate the whole bag. They promote it. It's suggested to you in the commercials. We don't have as many food commercials now as we used to. We have a lot of drug commercials now.
That's the result of the food.
As a result, all the food commercials we grew up with. Back in the day, we had so many food commercials. Like, it was crazy. But now it's nothing but drugs. And a whole bunch of disclaimers about it can kill you. But go ask your doctor about it, though. It's the weirdest thing. So, yeah, like, marketing is so powerful.
Oh, no, yeah. Y'all don't realize the depth. I don't realize the depths of the power of marketing.
It's so powerful. They show a sweaty can of soda and it's dripping down and you thirsty and you need to have this right now. Go get it now. And your bag of Lay's because you can't just eat one. And then everybody eat the food. It just is. Eating is fun. You know?
You made it more fun.
Yes.
Because the thing about food is it's infinite profit in the sense that
you have to eat, number one.
Yeah.
Eating's a necessity.
You never stop eating.
Right? You have to eat.
Yeah.
So that's one thing. Second, again, it's tied to emotions. We celebrate with food. We do all kinds of things with food. No, that's a whole nother psychological lesson. But yeah, they get you because you gotta have food.
Like if someone's selling a house, like there's a limited number of houses you'll probably buy in your life. But food is like, I'm gonna buy this 1 billion times in my lifespan. So
Exactly.
it's a great industry to be in to make money.
Exactly.
Chips. So they engineer how much fat is in your mouth in each bite. There are a team of multidisciplinary scientists that literally work around the clock, 24/7, day after day, year after year.
They're body positivity scientists.
No.
So this is the thing.
No, I'm
right?
saying
what you're
they
describing
want
is a
no
misuse
friction.
of science.
Yeah.
What you're
Yes.
describing is,
Yes.
what you're
They want
describing
no
is
friction.
business. What you're describing is capitalism. What you're
Yes.
describing is greed.
Yes. I'm
Body
happy to
positivity
indict that.
is not the reason for that.
No, I'm suggesting that I think you guys should get pretty freaking vocal and pissed because these guys are actively manipulating your message. So much, I haven't even gotten to half the shit that they do. So for example, they have effectively lobbied to remove nutrition guidelines and warning labels on food packaging because of harmful shame. It's like trans fats are bad for your health.
Okay,
it's a fact.
They have advocated for that. The body positivity movement, the fat activist movement, they're using
messaging.
Our language, right? Like you said, co-opting.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So they should stop co-opting our shit.
But they're not going to. But yes, that's what I'm saying.
So how do we
I think
more?
You guys should get pissed about it. Like I get the things you're pissed at.
We are pissed about a lot of things.
I get it. Can you add this to the list? Add this. I'm saying they're the primary. You want to indict someone?
It is on the
indict
list.
these.
It is on the list for some people whose focus is body positivity, right? We have different foci. I do civil rights stuff. Some people do fashion stuff, wedding industry, health and wellness, eating disorders. There are folks who are thinking about the food industry. There are folks who are nutritionists who are, I can't, without seeing the list of like the people that I remember the Washington Post article.
Yeah,
some of those people are not people that
eating.
I would associate with us.
I understand, but they're literally. Many of them are certified in intuitive eating.
Okay, but they're not
Abby Sharp.
But that's not health at every size. Intuitive eating is not a health at every size principle.
That's part of my problem with the movement is that it's like, but it's not that part. But it is that part. You're
saying our
it.
problem is that we conflate that all the things get conflated.
I'm not saying it's your problem.
You're conflating
I'm saying my issue is that because it's become a patchwork quilt, an amalgamation of movements and voice. Oh, it's an activist. It's a political. It's an influencer. It's a celebrity. There's no accountability for any of this. There's no through line, and it allows exploitation in ways that I think can be hurtful.
Why isn't the entire public holding food companies accountable for food food evil?
I mean, why is it?
You don't think so? I mean, they're reevaluating the generally recognized as safe rule. They just changed the food pyramid, which guides. Do you want to talk about that one? It guides hundreds of billions of dollars in subsidies, and now they're mandating.
So MAHA is.
I'm saying that
focused on the.
They're definitely focused on it. Sure, part of it.
Okay.
I think there are a lot of people that are focused on
You do
big
understand
food.
how and why they have significantly more resources than actual body positive activists, right?
I'm not saying that they don't have more resources. I'm saying, can you see this issue? What do we do about it?
Well,
do you think it's a problem? I think it's a problem.
I think there are a lot of problems. I think one of the problems is the assumption that everything that has to do with food and its lack of health correlates with fatness. Because we are saying body positivity.
Obesity thing again?
Well, we are saying body positivity, and body positivity includes all kinds of ways of being in a body, right? Not just body size. It includes all of the things about disability and skin color and hair texture and all of those things, right? Body positivity.
It ain't just about.
But we really have been coding that in this conversation to talk about body size, right? And you can understand.
I actually didn't think body positivity. To be dead honest with you, I've never interpreted.
My sister-in-law. I don't know. She was quoting somebody else, but she's kind of brought to my attention. She was like, it's called self-esteem for a reason. We don't need movements to have self-esteem. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm all about preaching the gospel. Unless someone hears the gospel, then they don't know it exists. Mm-hmm. They don't know that there's hope. They don't know there's a savior, right? So I'm all about preaching about. When I say self-esteem, you can't have esteem unless you know Jesus. I'm just sorry. Yeah. Your value and worth is in Jesus. But we preach that here on Jalen and Cacie, right? But going back to self-esteem, it's self-esteem. The problem is that we're not taught how to take our lives in our hands.
So we're trying to outsource our self-esteem to other people.
Right, exactly.
They got to esteem us in order for us to esteem ourselves.
So we need bodies of people to uphold our esteem. Mm-hmm. And that's unhealthy. Yep. That's why big pharma, big companies, food companies, all of those people can monetize off of that because we are not in control of our own esteem. Mm-hmm. We need groups and bodies of people to tell us that this is okay when it shouldn't be that way. Am I against promoting the gospel? Absolutely not. I'm going to preach God all day. You should know Jesus. He is the way, truth, and the light. All the problems you're dealing with will be resolved through him and in him. Okay? And if you never heard that before, then that's a problem. That's why we're here. That's why these platforms exist, so that we can talk about those things. But once you've heard the truth, I can't do Jesus for you. You got to take Jesus for yourself and make it a personal relationship for you. And you got to develop that on your own.
Yep.
Okay? You shouldn't need encouragement is great. It's good to have bodies of people that believe the way you believe. Encouragement is great. It fuels your faith. Like, all those things are important. That's why the Bible talks about assembling yourself together with believers. It's important that you do that on a regular basis, because you shouldn't be an island to yourself. It keeps us safe. It keeps us accountable. It keeps us on the right track. It does all those things. But at the end of the day, we're all going to stand as individuals before God and be judged on our own self-development. Not what the group said. Not what the group did. So, though I'm not against preaching Jesus or the gospel or anything that will encourage you to be a better person, but at the end of the day, it's up to me as an individual to take that and make it happen in my life. You know, I recently decided that I'm going to take my health, my fitness in my own hands. I'm going to stop needing to be part of a group, which is great. I love working out in groups. But in time past, what would happen, I get part of a group, and then the group starts to fizzle, and then I fizzle. Because I'm just going along with the stream. I had to find something that the Lord helped me develop to help me stay consistent and stay strong. I don't need nobody else to encourage me to go work out anymore. I can do it on my own. And it's really fun when I have a group. It's really fun. And when that opportunity arises, I take it. It's great to have it. But I cannot make that the source of my reason why I do what I do, or the reason why I believe in what I believe in. It has to be an individual thing, because the group can't work out for me. I got to pick up the weight myself and work out. I got to do that. So I'm gonna give the movement a benefit of the doubt. I don't think everybody in that movement understands the movement, to be honest with you.
Because it got too many definitions.
It got too many definitions, yeah. And depending on who you are, everybody's looking for acceptance, looking for love. And I'm not going to even say that there aren't people who benefited from it and turned out okay. I'm sure there is a percentage of people that heard that and say, you know what, and start doing better for themselves.
If you took it and just stopped hating your body, and then you just moved on and came healthy, you're good. But if you parked there, because you mentioned about encouragement, what is that word in there? Courage. Encourage. So I'm infusing, in a sense, courage into you to do something. So if I'm encouraging you to stay unhealthy, well, that's bad. You don't need that community. You need a community that's going to encourage you to be healthy, to stay healthy, to get healthy. So surround yourself with people who do that.
Though that you may be this size, okay, it doesn't mean it's impossible for you. Okay. And while you remain in this fat body season, we're going to help give you the tools and the information necessary so that you can live your most healthy life. And
people who don't look at you and believe that you can't do it.
Exactly.
One thing that was great about CrossFit, and you can do this in any fitness community, but some people are afraid to go to the gym because they're afraid of being looked at.
Yeah.
Fine. If you are a person who needs social community to get you going, cool.
That's
do whatever
good.
you need to do.
Yeah.
But find you a community. CrossFit was good for this because it didn't matter what you look like. They just push you like, we believe you can do it.
At least the gym that we went to.
Yeah, at least we went to. Granted, like, I won't say every gym, but the one we went to, they believe you can do it. And sometimes if you surround yourself with people who all believe we can't do it, then you won't do it.
Exactly.
And you'll believe it. But if you find somebody to look at you in your fat body and say, nah, you can do it too, and they'll help you, you'll realize, dang, I thought my entire life I couldn't do this. Exactly. But I realized it wasn't true. I just didn't have anybody encouraging me to do it.
And seeing other people that look like you doing things that you thought you couldn't do, yes, that is encouraging. Like I said, that CrossFit gym, body types of all kind. And people were doing stuff, jumping boxes, doing stuff. I'm like, okay, I can do this. I can do this. And it gave me encouragement. But I will tell you this, nobody in that room was like, you know what, I'm going to be pro-fat. I'm pro health. No, it's about being healthier version of yourself. And whatever that lands on, that's what we land on. But we all striving for the same thing, to be healthy. And we're not going to redefine what healthy is to make it fit our narrative. Let's find what healthy is and let's try to pursue that. Let's try to get there as close as possible, you know, and the journey is different for everybody. But at the end of the day, we got to stop trying to accept something because it's hard for us to change. Just because we couldn't figure it out, we make it seem like marriage. Marriage don't work because I failed at it 3-4 times, or my mama failed at it 3-4 times, so it must don't work. No, you just don't know what to do. I had to realize to myself, no matter how many diets I've done, no matter how many trainings I've had, all the things, there was something missing in me. Because I'm seeing too many people succeeding at it. And I'm like, I can either tell myself, girl, you're a unicorn and just stuff don't work for you, or just say, you don't know what you're doing.
Amen.
Or you're resistant to the truth, or you're not actually doing it all the way. You come in and you dip your toe in it, but you're not really doing it. See, there are swimmers. There are people who get in the water, and then those people that can swim. I used to be a person that can just get in the water and I just walked around. I couldn't swim. It wasn't until I decided to take some classes and actually learn how to swim. Now, I am not great at it. I'll be honest with you. I still got a lot of work to do. But it's not until I was willing to go and get training, go submit to someone who's doing this all their life, who's basically a fish, and teach me how to do it the proper way, and challenge my fears, challenge the thoughts that were in my head, challenge my philosophy about it. And that's when I understand, I can't float. Okay, I can do it. It's not as hard as I made it to be, because I couldn't understand, how can you get on top of the water? How can you do that? It makes no sense to me. But once I was shown how to do it, now I can do it myself. Not perfectly, but I can tread water. You know what I'm saying? Like there is something about submitting to proper discipleship.
I was literally about to get into discipleship. And we got to change what our goals are. Yes, if your goal was always to lose weight or to get a perfect body based on whoever's definition, then yeah, that is why you were weight cycling and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be. If you're going to get a trainer, if you're going to get a nutritionist, if you're going to get a metabolic specialist who's going to look into your body and figure all this stuff out, whatever path you're going to go, join a gym. The answer should be, teach me, disciple me, show me how to live healthy.
Yep.
That should be the answer. Not show me how to get to this weight. Because once you get to that weight and you hit that goal, you're done. You're just going to go right back because you don't know what to do now.
And
you weren't
that
doing
was
this as
my
a lifestyle.
problem.
But if your lifestyle is show me how to be healthy,
yep,
then if you ask God a question like that, he'll begin to guide you.
Because the health is not just physical.
Yeah.
The health is spiritually and is mental. And
all
that
that
was
goes
my
together.
missing components. Because I would work out hard. I would lose the weight and then it would come all back. And I couldn't figure out why. It's because I didn't address it from the spirit and the mental side of those things. I didn't change anything up here. I just changed a few habits for a season. And then once I reached the destination, it was like, now what?
Yep.
I couldn't maintain.
Let me speak to the believers here, because there are a lot of believers who struggle with weight, just like everybody else.
Yep.
And I want to help you with something that hopefully will help you to get to the right answer. So if you're a believer, you've been struggling with weight, anything. I mean, this would work for addictions, finances, all that kind of stuff. Changing the question. Show me how to be the thing.
Yeah.
Show me how to be healthy. Show me how to be rich. Show me how to be free from fear. Show me how to live in peace and not depression, all that kind of stuff. So Galatians 5:22 talks about the fruit of the Spirit. Galatians 5:22 spelled fruit of the Spirit. I was talking to the Lord about this a few days ago with a different situation, but it applies everywhere. And he was like, the Spirit, the Holy Spirit, these are the fruits that are produced when you abide with him, when you abide in the secret place with the Father. The Holy Spirit has come. Jesus prepared a place for us through the coming of the Holy Spirit. He sent that comforter so we would not be fatherless, we would not be orphans. So through the Holy Spirit, we are connected directly to the Father. All right. So the fruit of the Spirit comes through that abiding. And you got love, joy, peace, long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, and temperance. All right. And he mentioned to me, he's like, any journey you're on where you're growing, building a YouTube channel, social media, building a business. He was like, there's a scripture that says it, but it's like, you have need of patience, which is long suffering, one translation. You have need of patience. And he's saying what happens is if you have labor without patience, it's toil. Labor with patience is sowing. Because the entire kingdom of God is a seed kingdom. It's seed time and harvest. So whether it's your finances, you're believing God for something, you believe in God for children, for your family, for your health, you're trying to lose weight, you're trying to build a business, social media, whatever. If you have no patience, no long suffering, it's toil. And labor, quick labor, it doesn't reward you fast enough.
Yeah.
Quick labor is like getting a job. Every 2 weeks you get paid. So it re-energizes you to keep going. That's what that's for. But that's not investment. You can take the proceeds from quick labor, because you don't need patience for that, and use that to sow. Use that to invest in something that is long term. But that long term, that sowing requires patience. All right? So if you've been trying to lose weight, you have need of patience, because you haven't been treating it as an investment. You've been treating it as quick labor. And without patience, it's toil, and it burn out too quick. After 2 weeks, you will be done. Yeah. Even if you got results, you will forget your results so fast. Growing social media.
Because it was so hard.
Yeah. Social media, I've had a good week, 1 million views. The next week, views are down. For whatever reason, so many factors. And then I'm down mentally. I'm feeling like, man, this isn't working. I just have proof that it was working. Anybody that lost weight, you saw half an ab in the mirror 1 week. The scale went down, and the next week the scale stops, or it goes up a pound, or you can't see the ab no more, or you went to lift a weight and you just felt heavy, you just felt down, and now you thought this isn't working. But it's like, but in your brain, you know something's wrong. It's like, why did I forget my success I just had a week before? The reason why is because you're doing short-term labor, and it's toil, because you have need of patience. You must have patience in order to sow. And the weight loss journey is seed time and harvest. You must go into it with, I'm not trying to get this done in 3 months so I can have a beach body, so I can wear a bikini on the beach. That's not what I'm doing here. I am building a new lifestyle, and I need the fruit of the spirit of patience, okay? And then the thing that keeps you going during patience, the thing that keeps you going and not quitting, is the other fruit of the spirit, faithfulness, aka persistence, which means 1 week it looks good, 1 week it looks bad. 1 week it looks really great, 1 week it looks terrible. Regardless, like he said, the sower, the farmer doesn't consult the winds when he just sows. And he sows and he sows, because he understands that I must add in persistence and patience together if I'm ever going to make it. And that's what endurance is. Endurance is persistence and patience put together. And if you don't have patience and you don't have persistence or faithfulness, you will fail. So if you're a believer and you're trying to do the weight loss journey or any journey, you must engage the fruit of the spirit. And that comes with abiding with the Father. It's not abiding with the information and abiding with all the knowledge about the thing. It's abiding with him so that the fruit of the spirit can be birthed in you, because it's his fruit. It's a part of who he is.
And I think part of the problem is why we get stagnated, because we have too much information.
Yeah.
We have too much. A lot of it's wrong. A lot of it's skewed, or whatever the case may be, but we have so much, and we're trying to digest it all, understand it all before we move it, and and that's how we get stuck. One of our coaches, when we was doing CrossFit, he's like, just show up. Just show up. The rest will take care of itself once you get here, because the plan's already been set. I've already built the program, but you got to show up so you can implement it. Once it's here, I got you. The problem is we just won't show up.
Get in a secret place.
Get in that secret place. Exactly. And we trying to figure it all out, trying to understand all this stuff, understand macros, blah, blah, whatever. Just show up.
And yield.
And yield to the process. And before you know it, that 45 minutes is done. Workout done. And it's in the books.
And you sown the seed.
You sown a seed.
And you don't need the results right then.
Exactly.
You're just going to show up and keep abiding the next day. If you abide with any diet process, any fitness process, you're going to get results, okay? Because if you're employing patience, you're not worried. You're not looking at 4 weeks. You're not looking at 12 weeks. You're not even looking at 6 months. You're looking a year, 2 years, 5 years.
Exactly.
You know, 10 years from now, I'm going to be living in a healthy lifestyle. And so I have patience to get there. That's my goal, is to live in a healthy lifestyle. And I have patience and I have persistence. But if you start the journey without those fruits of the spirit, you're going to keep quitting.
And where the body positive movement could be helpful, it could be that while I'm on this journey, I have a support system that doesn't look at me as incapable or They're providing services for me. They can help me while I'm in this larger body. They're providing clothes for me that while I'm in this larger body so I can feel good, look good about myself. Because those things are important. That's why I teach makeup. You know, and I do hair because I know it's important to feel good and look good. When you look in the mirror, you like what you see. That is important. It's helpful. It really is. And it can help motivate you to make right decisions. So this movement could be more helpful if it wasn't promoting health at any size, because that's a lie. But we can have a healthy mindset at any size. Why we are moving towards a healthy body. That should be the messaging. That should be the branding. Because it is helpful to have that push. You know, like when we was in CrossFit, you know, people encourage us. You got this, girl. And when everybody else was done with the workout and you were still struggling with them last 6 reps, they will all stop and surround and root you on.
In that gym, there were no mirrors.
No mirrors.
Body positive. That was a body positive environment, but it wasn't about, oh, you're beautiful. It's, you can do this.
We're doing the work.
We're all going to do this.
Yeah.
Whether you have to scale it or whatever, but we can all do this together. And it's not about the way that you look. It's about the fact that you have 2 arms, you got 2 legs. Shoot, there's adaptive athletes who don't got 2 arms and 2 legs. But regardless, we can all do this. That's body positivity at its finest if I had to, you know, put my stamp on it. But that's what I would think would be the thing that would be helpful. And yeah, as far as the beauty, look, you can put on beauty. When you look at the Bible, beauty is something that you put on in your clothes, in your makeup, and your hairstyling. You can put that on and trust and believe. There is somebody for everybody. There are people that I'm not attracted to, but there are people that they're happily married because somebody else was. So that's not even an issue there.
You ain't got to be everybody's beauty. You just don't.
Yeah. So that's that we can put a pin in that. But yeah, my hope is that anybody who's a believer who's struggling with their weight and on and off things like that, get with the Father. Don't divorce this from your spiritual life. It's very much a spiritual issue. Look, I mean, we get it. Like, it's like calories in, calories out, working out. Even if it's other health considerations, it's still something that can be figured out scientifically, but you haven't done it yet. Something hasn't changed in your behavior. And so you need the Spirit of God. The same way somebody's to overcome an addiction of some sort, a bad behavior. You need the Spirit of God. You need to abide with Him. So He can transform you, and the fruit of Spirit can be born in you.
Amen.
And you get transformation that way.
Amen.
You just have need of patience. All right. Well, praise God.
We're over time.
We're way over time, and on Inside the Conversation too. All right, so we'll be back Monday with another episode of Jalen and Cacie Show. Yeah, we'll just tune in, and join, if you want to know whenever we go live, just join our mailing list.
There was a question on TikTok that I saw. Scroll down.
No, that wasn't a real question. That was spam. But link in our bio. If you want to join our mailing list, and that way you'll always know whenever we go live, or just follow us here. We get 2 follows on TikTok. Thank you. I see a comment from Alexis, maybe. Thank you, Lex Nicole. Thank you for following us here. And I don't know who the other person was, but thanks for following us. And thanks for tuning in as we had fun with reacting to this stuff. We didn't even get halfway through the video, but it was fun.
Go watch it if you want to finish it. You know, let us know what you think about it. It was a very interesting conversation.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
And again, we're not pro Jillian Michaels, stuff like that. But I think the claims that she was bringing to the table was worth talking about, and something that, like, I kind of agree with her on those claims.
Exactly. No, 100%. Yeah. So, no, I mean, it was good. We'll be back one of these weeks with the Israel discussion. Could be next week, but we'll confirm that a little later. But we appreciate y'all. We love y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in, and we'll see you on Monday.
Bye-bye.